Yeah, live on YouTube. Yes. All set.
हरि ओम, नमस्कार. ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः. समर्थ रामदास स्वामी मनाच्या श्लोकात म्हणतात, देहे त्यागिता कीर्ती मागे उरावी, मना सज्जना हेची क्रिया धरावी. मना चंदनाचे परित्वा जिजावे, परी अंतरी सज्जनानी ववावे. Hari Om. We will be beginning today's program with invocation of the Lord's blessings by Namrata Bhatt.
मन विमल करुणी अजिगालुया मंगलकारक तो सुखकारक सिद्धि विनायक गाऊया. वैर भाव मदमत्सर त्यजुनी सकल गुणैक गाऊया. मुनी जननायक भव भयहारक तो सुखकारक गाऊया. ल्याली निर्मल शुभ्र वस्त्र बसली त्या श्वेत पद्मासनी शोभे उज्ज्वल गौरवर्ण नटली वीणा करी घेऊनी नाचे चित्रमयूर पाय तळी हा जी रंगली गायनी देवो सन्मती ती सरस्वती आम्हा विद्या कला दायिनी.
Pujya Swami Siddheshananda Ji has taught all of us to remain ever steadfast at the feet of Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmaya Ji. We will now be invoking Pujya Gurudev's blessings by chanting the Ashtottara Namavali.
ओम शुक्लां वरदरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। अथाचमनीजलं हस्तप्रक्षालनम्। ओम केशवाय स्वाहा। तीर्थनिर्मिते। ओम गंगे जयमने चैवा गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदे सिंधु कावेरी जलेस्मिन् सन्निधिं कुरु। ममोपात्त समस्त दुरितक्षय द्वारा श्री परमेश्वर प्रीत्यर्थम श्री सद्गुरु प्रसाद सिद्ध्यर्थम च श्री सद्गुरु देवता पादुका पूजनं करिष्यामि। ओम गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदान शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम्। ओम श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। श्री महागणपति भगवान् ध्यायामि आवाहयामि प्रतिष्ठापयामि पूजयामि। अतः श्री सद्गुरुदेवता ध्यानम्। ओम ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्यं शोकमोहं विनाशिनं। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। श्री सद्गुरु भगवन् ध्यायामि आवाहयामि प्रतिष्ठापयामि पूजयामि। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु देवता या गच्छ यतिष्ठ यतिष्ठ य सन्निधेहि य सन्निरुद्धस्व य सन्निरुद्धस्व य सन्मुखी भव अवकुण्ठितो भव सुप्रसन्नो भव वरदो भव अभयदो भव अवतरधिष्ठानं कुरु मम पूजां गृहाण स्वामिन् सर्वजगन्नाथ यावत् पूजावसानकं तावत् त्वं प्रीतिभावेन पादुकेऽस्मिन् सन्निधिं कुरु। अतः पूजनम्। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। जलं समर्पयामि। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। गन्धां धारयामि। गन्धशवत्रा कुङ्कुमं सर्पयामि। भस्मरक्षां समर्पयामि। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। पुष्पैः पूजयामि। ओम मनसरसोद्भूतो गन्धाढ्योगन्धोत्तमः आग्रे सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम्। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। धूपमाग्रापयामि। दीपम्। ओम दीपं गृहाण देवेश भक्तिप्रयतमन्वितम् अन्धकारे नमस्तोभ्यं अज्ञानं विनिवर्तय। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। दीपं सन्दर्शयामि। धूपदीपानन्तरमात्मन्यकं समर्पयामि। पुष्पैः पूजयामि। महानैवेद्यम्। ओम नैवेद्यं गृहतां देव भक्तिं मे जलां कुरु इप्सितं मे वरं देहि नित्यतृप्ते नमोऽस्तुते। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरुवे नमः। महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि। ओम प्राणाय स्वाहा। ओम अपानाय स्वाहा। ओम व्यानाय स्वाहा। ओम उदानाय स्वाहा। ओम समानाय स्वाहा। ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरुवे नमः। अष्टोत्तर शतनामार्चनम्।
ओम अजाय नमः। ओम अव्ययाय नमः। ओम अविनाशिने नमः। ओम अचिन्त्याय नमः। ओम अप्रमेयाय नमः। ओम अद्वितीयाय नमः। ओम अनिकेताय नमः। ओम अनुशासनप्रियाय नमः। ओम अन्तःसाक्षिणे नमः। ओम अन्तर्यामिने नमः। ओम आनन्दाय नमः। ओम आत्मस्वरूपाय नमः। ओम आङ्ग्लभाषाविदुत्तमाय नमः। ओम ईश्वराय नमः। ओम उदारहृदयाय नमः। ओम उत्साहवर्धकाय नमः। ओम एकस्मै नमः। ओम ओंकारविदे नमः। ओम करुणासागराय नमः। ओम कर्मपरायणाय नमः। ओम कालातीताय नमः। ओम कैवल्यस्वरूपाय नमः। ओम कृतात्मने नमः। ओम कृतकृत्याय नमः। ओम गीता ज्ञान यज्ञ प्रचारकाय नमः। ओम गुरवे नमः। ओम गुणातीताय नमः। ओम ग्रंथकृते नमः। ओम चिन्मयाय नमः। ओम छिन्न संशयाय नमः। ओम जगदात्मने नमः। ओम जगत्साक्षिणे नमः। ओम जनप्रियाय नमः। ओम जितेन्द्रियाय नमः। ओम जीव ब्रह्मैक्यविदे नमः। ओम जीवन मुक्ताय नमः। ओम जीर्णमन्दिरोद्धारकाय नमः। ओम तपोवन शिष्याय नमः। ओम तपस्विने नमः। ओम तापनाशनाय नमः। ओम तीर्थस्वरूपाय नमः। ओम तेजस्विने नमः। ओम देहातीताय नमः। ओम द्वन्द्वातीताय नमः। ओम दृढ़निश्चयाय नमः। ओम धर्म संस्थापकाय नमः। ओम धीमते नमः। ओम धीराय नमः। ओम धैर्यप्रदाय नमः। ओम नारायणाय नमः। ओम निजानन्दाय नमः। ओम निरपेक्षाय नमः। ओम निस्पृहाय नमः। ओम निरुपमाय नमः। ओम निर्विकल्पाय नमः। ओम नित्याय नमः। ओम निरंजनाय नमः। ओम परमाय नमः। ओम परब्रह्मणे नमः। ओम पावनाय नमः। ओम पावकाय नमः। ओम पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ओम प्रसन्नात्मने नमः। ओम फलासक्तिरहिताय नमः। ओम बहुभक्ताय नमः। ओम बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ओम ब्रह्मनिष्ठाय नमः। ओम ब्रह्मपराय नमः। ओम भयनाशनाय नमः। ओम भारत गौरवाय नमः। ओम भूम्ने नमः। ओम महावाक्योपदेशकाय नमः। ओम महर्षये नमः। ओम मधुर स्वभावाय नमः। ओम मनोहराय नमः। Om Mahatmane Namaha. Om Medhavine Namaha. Om Yatatmane Namaha. Om Yajnakrite Namaha. Om Lokaprasiddhaya Namaha. Om Vagmine Namaha. Om Vibhave Namaha. Om Vinodapriyaya Namaha. Om Vinayashilaya Namaha. Om Vitaragaya Namaha. Om Vedanta Vedyaya Namaha. Om Shantaya Namaha. Om Shanti Pradaya Namaha. Om Shastrodharakaya Namaha. Om Shuddha Sattvaya Namaha. Om Shuddhipalagaya Namaha. Om Shrotriyaya Namaha. Om Sannyasine Namaha. Om Samabuddhaye Namaha. Om Satchidanandaya Namaha. Om Sarvahita Chintakaya Namaha. Om Satya Sankalpaya Namaha. Om Santushtaya Namaha. Om Sadhave Namaha. Om Sumanase Namaha. Om Surude Namaha. Om Swayam Jyotishe Namaha. Om Sitaprajnaya Namaha. Om Shamashilaya Namaha. Om Jnanamurtaye Namaha. Om Jnana Yogine Namaha. Om Jnanatriptaya Namaha. Om Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaya Namaha. Om Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaya Namaha. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। अष्टोत्तर समर्पयामि। अथ राजोपचारम्।
Now that we have invoked the Lord's blessings and our Guru's blessings, we can proceed with today's program. Brahmachari Maitreyi Ji will be giving us a brief overview of today's occasion.
Hari Om. I am sitting here to speak to all of you more on a personal note than as a formal program. When we were planning for this program, and you will see what all is coming ahead in the program, when we were doing all this, all of us, we were discussing, what is this program? Is it a program of, very sad program because it is definitely something very sad? Or is it a celebration? Is it a function? What is this program really? And then, unanimously, all of us thought it is a program of reverence and inspiration. When I love someone, what is true love? True love is to do what the person likes and not what I like. I might like to do a certain thing in a certain way, but if I love someone, the real offering is to do it the way he or she wants it, without having any personal or any my own insistences. And now, as our Swami G would always give a beautiful example, that the small children, whenever mother is not at home, the small children always remember what the mother likes the most. And that is what they act based on. That is their basis of doing anything. So if the small brother is not behaving, the elder sister says, see, this is, our mother will not like this, okay? And automatically that one sentence is enough for the brother to behave in the right way. So similarly, all that we have to do is remember what he has taught us and imagine what he would like us to do in this particular situation. Even today's program, what he would like us to look ahead, to take Puja Gurudev's vision ahead, to move ahead with greater inspiration, complete all the projects, and be one and surrender at the feet of Guru. That is all that is wanted. So, what should be the outcome of today's program? When the program is concluded, I should have felt the presence of our dear Swamiji, and also I should get more inspiration to work. Because if he did this, then this is what will make him happy. This is the occasion and this is the outcome of the program which we all are looking to. What is set in today's program? So we are having a video on Swamiji, a life journey in a small time span. Then we are having a video by Swamiji. We will listen to Swamiji himself. Then we will be giving a knowledge offering to Swamiji. That is his knowledge and seva is what if we have to define in 2 words. Swami Siddheshanand. So therefore, the first part of the program consists of a knowledge offering, and the second part of the program consists of seva offerings. And as we move ahead, the program will unfold as we unfold on our path to the self.
Hari Om. All those who have visited Chinmaya Mauli Ashram, our Vitthal Rukmini temple and the Tapovanam forest have felt Swamiji's strong presence at these places. We think of Swamiji, we see Swamiji around every moment that we work here or that we are here. And in memory of Swamiji, we have prepared a compilation of some of his photographs, which we will now be viewing.
Share the audio. क्या लगा? Almighty.
ये तो एक ऑप्शन.
ठीक है.
Hello. I'm sure all of us have traveled back in time with all these photographs. Swamiji was not only a very loving, motherly figure in all our lives, but he was also a very, very strict teacher. In Swamiji's study classes, camps, or Jnana Yajnas, we had to sit down, make notes, take proper notes, participate in group discussions, and also perform plays based on what we have learned. His idea of teaching was always to involve the listeners as a part of the study rather than being only a teacher. And this all of us have seen in Swamiji's study classes, especially Bhagavad Gita study classes, where we have all taken notes and also explained and discussed what we have understood and questioned what we have not understood. So today we will be watching one of videos of Swamiji himself taking a study class at Chinmaya Mauli Ashram. The topic of the class was Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6. We will be starting shortly.
गीता अध्याय 6 श्लोक पहला कृपया दोहराइए। ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः।
ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः।
अथ षष्ठोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच।
श्रीभगवानुवाच।
अनाश्रितः कर्मफलम्
अनाश्रितः कर्मफलम्
कार्यं कर्म करोति यः
कार्यं कर्म करोति यः
स सन्न्यासी च योगी च
स सन्न्यासी च योगी च
न निरग्निर्न चाक्रियः।
न निरग्निर्न चाक्रियः।
टुगेदर श्रीभगवानुवाच। अनाश्रितः कर्मफलम्
कार्यं कर्म करोति यः स सन्न्यासी च योगी च न निरग्निर्न चाक्रियः।
ये छठा अध्याय जो है गीता में अध्याय है 18। तो 6 अध्याय हो गए, माने कितना हो गया 1/3। तो तत्वचिंतक ऐसा मानते हैं कि पूरी गीता जो है 3 विभागों में है। उसमें से पहला विभाग जो है वो 1 से लेके 6 अध्याय, दूसरा जो है 7 से लेके 12 तक, और तीसरा 13 से लेके 18। तो संपूर्ण ज्ञान का जो सार है वेदों में, उसे महावाक्य में कहा है। महावाक्य का अर्थ क्या होता है? बिग सेंटेंस। बिग माने इट इज़ वेरी शॉर्ट सेंटेंस एक्चुअली, बट मीनिंग वाइज बिग। उसका जो अर्थ है उससे ज़्यादा अर्थ भरा कोई वाक्य नहीं है दुनिया में, कोई भी भाषा में, इसलिए वो सबसे बड़ा। और क्या उस वाक्य की विशेषता है? उसमें परमेश्वर का जीव के साथ में एकत्व बताया है। दैट इज द फाइनल कल्मिनेशन ऑफ द स्पिरिचुअल लर्निंग टू रिकॉग्नाइज द वननेस विद द गॉड। उससे हम अलग नहीं है, ये जानना, ये आध्यात्मिक साधना की पूर्णता है। और वो पूर्णता इस वाक्य में बताई गई है। कौन सा वाक्य? प्रसिद्ध वाक्य, तत् त्वम असि। 3 शब्दों से बना हुआ ये वाक्य, तत् त्वम असि। अंग्रेजी में क्या कहेंगे? दैट दाउ आर्ट। दैट दाउ आर्ट। thou art that, you are that. अब ये सब प्रोनाउन है. दैट इज ऑल्सो प्रोनाउन, यू इज ऑल्सो प्रोनाउन. व्हाट इज दिस? अब ऐसा कोई कहेंगे वो आ गया, वो माने कौन आ गया? तो ये प्रोनाउन क्यों यूज किया है? नाम क्यों नहीं यूज किया? अब देखो, ये विशेषण जो होता है वो हमेशा किसी नाम के साथ जुड़ता है. Pronoun is always associated with some noun. और यहाँ noun बताया ही. क्यों? क्योंकि व्यवहार में जितनी भी चीजें हमारे समझ में आती है उन्हीं का नाम होता है. ये भाषा जो है वो कहाँ से उत्पन्न होती है? व्यवहार से. जो चीज़ आपने भी देखी है, मैंने भी देखी है, अनुभव की है. जैसे मैं कहूँ कि शक्कर, तो आपको भी शक्कर माने क्या मालूम है, मुझे भी मालूम है. तो जब मैं शक्कर ये शब्द बोलता हूँ तो आपके मन में वही प्रकट होता है जो मेरे मन में. तो भाषा के जो नाम है वो उन्हीं वस्तुओं को दी जा सकते हैं जो हमें अपने इंद्रियों से समझ में आ जाए. जो शक्कर है जो हम जीवा से उसकी देखते हैं, टेस्ट कैसे, आँखों से देखते हैं उसका रूप. तो जो जहाँ तक हमारी इंद्रियाँ चलती है वहीं पे भाषा होती है. अब इंद्रियों से जब आगे चलते हैं मन, वहाँ पे भी थोड़ी भाषा गड़बड़ाने लग जाती है. हालांकि हम मन से महसूस करते हैं, जैसे भावनाएं हैं, our emotions we recognize not with the senses but with the mind. किसको कितनी जलन हो रही है, किसको कितना प्यार है, वो तो कोई आंखों से देख नहीं सकते, तो वजन भी नहीं कर सकते. लेकिन फिर भी हम अपने मन से तो महसूस करते हैं. तो भाषा जरा वहाँ पे गड़बड़ होने लगती है ना. तो हम जो शब्द है वो व्यवहार से ही लेते हैं, लेकिन उसमें अर्थ थोड़ा अलग होता है. मैं तुम्हें अपने हृदय से प्रेम करता हूँ. अब हृदय माने वो पंपिंग वाला, वो उसका यहाँ कोई मतलब नहीं है. तेरे उसका कोई लेना देना नहीं है. लेकिन ये एक फ्रेज फेमस हो गई, मैं तुम्हें हृदय से प्रेम, आई लव यू फ्रॉम बॉटम ऑफ माई हार्ट, ऐसा बोलते हैं. तो बायोलॉजिकल स्टूडेंट अगर उसका एनालिसिस शुरू कर देगा तो बड़ा बढ़िया. He is supposed to drop that literal meaning and supposed to understand something higher. है ना? कोई ऐसे तो मैं तुम्हें अपने दिमाग से प्रेम करता हूँ, ऐसे तो कोई बोलता नहीं. ये मैं कहाँ फंस गया, पता नहीं मैंने इसमें क्यों दिमाग लगाया. तो देयर लिटरल मीनिंग इज नॉट टेकन. उससे कुछ अलग भावना वो कहना चाहता है. तो इंद्रियों से जब हम भावनाओं पे आते हैं तभी भाषा थोड़ी कम पड़ने लग जाती है, उधर से ही शब्द यूज करने पड़ते हैं. लेकिन उसमें अर्थ थोड़ा, इसलिए तो इतनी सारी कविताएं, साहित्य, लिटरेचर, दे ट्राई टू कन्वे समथिंग हायर देन व्हाट इज रिटन. तो क्या बोलते हैं, रीडिंग बिटवीन द लाइन्स ऐसा बोलते हैं. दो लाइन के बीच वो वहाँ तो ब्लैंक होता है, नहीं वही पढ़ना होता है. अब देखो भावनाओं की हाल, अब उससे भी ऊपर चले जाए, जहाँ से ये भावना करने वाला मन जो है इट स्टार्ट्स फंक्शनिंग लाइफ, तब तो भाषा बड़ी ही कमज़ोर हो जाती है. वहाँ पे कम्युनिकेशन ही मुश्किल हो जाता है. तो इसलिए प्रोनाउन क्यों यूज़ किया, क्योंकि वहाँ पे वो प्रचलित अर्थ में शब्द है नहीं. उसके लिए कुछ शब्द कह देंगे तो कुछ और ही आप सोचने लग जाते हो. तो यहाँ गर्भित अर्थ क्या है. आवाज़ नहीं आ रही क्या ठीक से, इसको थोड़ा ऊपर रख लेता हूँ. अभी आ रही है? हाँ। तत्व माने वो परमेश्वर जिसकी सत्ता संपूर्ण सृष्टि में चलती है। और त्वम माने यू मीन्स हम जो अपने आप को एक जीव समझते हैं, लिमिटेड बीइंग, लिमिटेड एनर्जी, लिमिटेड नॉलेज, संस्कृत में से कहते हैं अल्प शक्तिमान, अल्पव्यापी, अल्पज्ञ। और परमेश्वर के क्या है? सर्वव्यापी, सर्वज्ञ, सर्वशक्तिमान परमेश्वर। त्वम माने ये जीव, हम जो अपने आप को अभी समझ, so many limitations we understand our existence. Tat tvam asi means you are that. तुम वही हो। जैसे पिछली बार हमने एक उदाहरण देखा था कि पानी के अलग अलग रूप है। जैसे समुद्र है, एक पानी का एक रूप है, और समुद्र में उठने वाली जो लहर है वो भी पानी का ही। तो जब हम कहते हैं समुद्र तो कोई अलग वस्तु नहीं है, पानी का ही नाम समुद्र है। जब वो विशाल का है रूप हो गया तो विशाल रूप में प्रकट हो गया तो उसको समुद्र बोलते हैं। और कोई प्यास लग गई तो थोड़ा ग्लास में समुद्र लाओ, ऐसा नहीं बोलते। छोटी लहर उसको नाम दिया है वेव, बट वो है तो पानी। उस पानी के अलावा एक दूसरे कोई भी चीज़ नहीं है उसको, लेकिन उसकी विशालता देख के अलग नाम, उसका रूप देख के अलग नाम। So when you are pointing, this is ocean, this is wave, actually you are pointing to the water only. अब ये जितना हम आसानी से समझते हैं उतनी आसानी से हम अपना अस्तित्व नहीं समझ पा रहे। तो वी आर लाइक द वेव इन द ओशन, ओशन ऑफ दिस क्रिएशन। तो ये संपूर्ण क्रिएशन क्या है? ईश्वर का रूप है। और हमारा अस्तित्व क्या है? उस समुद्र में एक लहर की तरह है। वी आर वन वेव इन द ओशन। तो उसकी इंग्रेडिएंट क्या है? उसका अंतरात्मा क्या है? लहर का अंतरात्मा और समुद्र का अंतरात्मा एक ही है, पानी है। अब जिस दिन ये बात अच्छी तरह हमें समझ में आएगी उसी दिन हमें जन्म मृत्यु के भय से मुक्ति मिलेगी। जैसे जन्म और मृत्यु तो उस लहर को है, वेव राइजेस एंड वेव डाइज, बट जिस चीज से वो लहर बनी है वो पानी तो कभी मरता नहीं। और जो लोग थोड़ा फिजिक्स वगैरह सीखे हैं, विज्ञान, उनको तो मालूम है वो तो लहर जब चलती है ऐसे, वेव इज मूविंग, एक्चुअली वो कुछ मूव वगैरह नहीं होता है पानी, वो तो सिर्फ ऊपर नीचे होता है। और हमें ऐसा महसूस होता है कि उसमें गति हो रही है। वैसे हमें भी महसूस होता है कि नहीं? Our childhood days, now young days, now old age, so we feel that it is moving. हालांकि क्या हो रहा है? Only up and down in the cells of the body. उसको हमने नाम दिया अलग अलग, growth, sustenance, decay, death and birth, growth, decay and sustenance. ये क्या हो रहा है? कहाँ से आ गई है बॉडी? बोले हवा के कुछ कण है, पानी के कुछ कण है, ज़मीन में जो अन्न खाया है माता पिता ने उसके कुछ कण है, फिर हमने जो अन्न खाया, ये सब की एक वेव जमा हो गई, हमारा रूप हो गया। और फिर हम बढ़ते गए बढ़ते गए बढ़ते गए और फिर वापस डिसइंटीग्रेट हो गई। कहाँ गई? वहीं कोई कोई जला देते हैं, कोई दफना देते हैं, कोई ऐसे ही छोड़ देते हैं पशु पक्षी के। वापस कहाँ जाते हो सब कण? जहाँ से आए थे। और फिर वापस दूसरी हवा चलती है, वापस आता है, फिर वापस जाता है, वापस आता है, लाइक द वेव्स। तो यहाँ जितने भी अवतार हो गए भगवान के भी, राम कृष्ण, उन्होंने जो सांस ली होगी वही हवा इधर है अभी कण कण में, वही, उसको तो नष्ट नहीं कर सकते। विज्ञान ने भी बताया है, साइंस हैज ऑल्सो टोल्ड दैट यू कैनॉट क्रिएट डस्ट पार्टिकल, एक धूलि का कण भी हम तैयार नहीं कर सकते और नष्ट भी नहीं कर सकते। हम क्या करते हैं, एक में से दूसरे में, दूसरे से तीसरे में सिर्फ रूपांतर करते हैं, उसी को हम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग भी बोलते हैं, है ना। मैन्युफैक्चरिंग अगर सचमुच में होता तो उसका सब रॉ मटेरियल कट कर दो, किसी बिजनेस को जितना भी रॉ मटेरियल आता है वो सब बंद करो, हाँ यू मैन्युफैक्चर ऐसे मैन्युफैक्चर कर, वो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग नहीं है एक्चुअली, इट इज कन्वर्शन। ये मटेरियल को अलग अलग प्रोसेस में, किसी को गर्म करो, ठंडा करो, मशीन में डालो तो उसका अलग रूप हो गया, कॉम्बिनेशन, और फिर उसके ऊपर एक लेबल लगा देते, डेट ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, फिर दूसरा लेबल लगा देते गारंटी पीरियड, उसके बाद नो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी उसका क्या हो जाएगा थोड़े समय के लिए। वैसे ही हमारा जो अस्तित्व हम आज समझ रहे हैं, शरीर, मन, बुद्धि, ये ऐसी ही एक असेंबलेज है, और फिर वापस ये यहीं पे जाए। तो हम जो अपने आप को मैं समझते हैं, वो इसके साथ इतना जुड़ गया है, हालांकि हम देखते हैं इसमें होने वाला परिवर्तन, और विज्ञान भी बताता है कि 7-8 साल में हमारे जो बॉडी के पेशी है, सेल्स है, वो सब रिप्लेस हो जाते हैं। मुझे याद है हम लोग 12th स्टैंडर्ड में थे, तब एक वो ब्लड डोनेशन कैंप था, तो वो आए थे उस दिन, सबको अपील की, कोई जा नहीं रहा था ब्लड डोनेशन तो हमारे वो फिजिकल ट्रेनिंग वाले टीचर आ गए, उन्होंने बताया आप लोगों को पढ़ाई करते समय आलस आता है थोड़ा, यू फील लेजी, यस, यू फील टायर्ड, टेंस, यस, बिकॉज इट इज ऑल इन योर ब्लड। तो अगर आप फिर ब्लड डोनेट कर दोगे 24 घंटे के अंदर आपका वापस नया रिप्लेस हो जाएगा, यू हैव अ चांस। सब लाइन लग गए फिर, कॉफ़ी और बिस्किट भी फ्री में मिल रहा था तो आप अगर एक बोतल खून दे दो, वो तो 24 घंटे में रिप्लेस हो जाता है। और वो खाना हम जो खाते रहते हैं, इससे सब, जैसे हमारे बाल बढ़ते रहते हैं और स्किन भी रिप्लेस होती रहती है। ये कुछ कुछ जानवर होते हैं ना, जो लोग नहाते नहीं हैं, जैसे सांप है, वो साल में एक बार उसका वो स्किन निकलता है, हैव यू सीन दैट? स्नेक का स्किन रहता है, हाँ, कैंचुली कहते हैं हिंदी में, कैंचुली, इंग्लिश में क्या कहते हैं? शेडिंग स्किन बोलते हैं। आपने कभी देखा है उसे? अच्छा, कहीं कहीं मिल जाता है प्लास्टिक के जैसा वाइट, तो क्योंकि वो नहाता नहीं है तो साल में एक बार वो ऊपर की लेयर ही चेंज कर देते। आप लोग को भी आ सकता है वैसा, अगर आप नहाएंगे नहीं एक साल क्योंकि हम रोज आते, थोड़ा थोड़ा रिप्लेस होता रहता है, और न्यू आता रहता है। तो विज्ञान कहता है कि 7-8 साल में हमारे बॉडी के सब सेल जो है रिप्लेस हो जाते हैं, तो यू हैव अ न्यू बॉडी। तो 10 साल पहले आपका ये शरीर नहीं था। मन भी आपका जो है वो बदलते रहता है। पहले हमें जो बहुत पसंद था, और 10 साल में बहुत बड़ा हो मूवी देखना नहीं चाहते। पहले शत्रु था, मित्र बन जाता है, मित्र था, शत्रु बन जाता है। इससे कुछ पहचान नहीं थी, पहचान हो जाती है। जो इससे पहचान होगी, पहचान दिखाते भी नहीं बाद में, फिर सामने आए तो भावनाएं भी हमारी सब बदलती रहती है। 10 साल तो बहुत लंबा पीरियड होता है, बहुत कुछ उथल पुथल होती है तो शरीर बदलता रहता है, मन में भावना बदलती रहती है, और हम नई नई चीज़ें सीखते रहते हैं। गुरुजी हमेशा कहते हैं ये जीवन कैसा है, वैसे स्कूल कॉलेज में कैसे होता है, आपको साल भर पढ़ाया जाता है, यू लर्न द लेसन्स इन द क्लासरूम, और फिर आखिरी में आपकी परीक्षा होती है, एग्ज़ाम। जीवन में कैसा है, उल्टा है है ना। फर्स्ट यू आर पुट टू एग्जाम, देन यू लर्न द लेसन। व्हाट ही सेज, आई हैड दिस एक्सपीरियंस, नाउ आई हैव लर्न द लेसन। अच्छा, बाद में पढ़ा आपने। तो नए नए अनुभवों से हम हमारा सेटिंग भी बदलते रहते है कि नहीं? जो चीज़ हमें 2 साल पहले 4 साल पहले पता नहीं थी, अभी वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग बदल गई। आई विल नॉट डू दिस मिस्टेक अगेन, ऐसा बोलते। देन विच वन न्यू यू आर गोइंग टू डू? न्यू मिस्टेक। मैं अभी कभी नहीं करूँगा। कैसे आ गए ज्ञान? वो अनुभव से, लास्ट एक्सपीरियंस हैज टॉट मी समथिंग। तो वी कीप चेंजिंग आवर अंडरस्टैंडिंग। आप सोच के देखिए, रिवाइंड करके, 10 साल पहले कैसे थे, अभी अलग हो गए। तो जैसे जैसे आयु बढ़ते जाती है, उनको सिखाना मुश्किल होता जाता है। फिर हम बालविहार पे फोकस करना चालू कर देते हैं, क्योंकि वो इफ यू आस्क समबडी, मैंने सब सीख लिया अभी, मुझे ऑलरेडी दे हैव मेड देयर ओन कंक्लूजन। पता नहीं, वियर्ड। तो कहने का मतलब, हमारा शरीर बदलता रहता है, वी विटनेस इट। हमारी भावनाएं बदलती रहती है, रिलेशनशिप बदलते रहते हैं, अंडरस्टैंडिंग, बुद्धि भी बदलती रहती है। फिर भी हम वही है। एक भावना होती है कि मैं वही, तो फिर हमारा अस्तित्व जरूर इसके अलावा कुछ तो कुछ होगा। देयर मस्ट बी समथिंग विच इज विटनेसिंग द एजिंग ऑफ बॉडी, witnessing the changing of emotion, witnessing the changing of understanding, and still separate from this, है ना? वो क्या है पता नहीं। तो उसको समझना माने ये बदलने वाले चीज़ों से मुक्तता पाना, फ्रीडम फ्रॉम द चेंजिंग थिंग। तो तत् त्वम असि माने वो जो कभी भी मिटता नहीं है, और तुम जो अपने आप को जन्म मृत्यु वाला समझते हो, वो अंतरंग में एक ही है। ऐसा ये जो महावाक्य कहता है, उसके जो 3 शब्द है, तत् त्वम असि, उसमें से जो त्वम शब्द है, त्वम माने तुम, यू, उस शब्द के बारे में पहले 6 अध्यायों में चर्चा हुई है। माने जीव, द लिमिटेड बीइंग, हमारी अपनी जो अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, उसका वर्णन पहले 6 अध्यायों में है। और फिर 7वें अध्याय से क्या शुरू होगा? तत्, भगवान की महिमा शुरू हो जाएगी। एंड 12th चैप्टर विल बी कल्मिनेशन ऑफ डिवोशन फॉर द लॉर्ड। इसलिए कई लोग जो है पूरी गीता में से 12वां अध्याय याद कर लेते। एक तो छोटा है, उसमें 20 श्लोकास ओनली, एंड इट्स अ कल्मिनेशन ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ गॉड, डिवोशन, वेरी ब्यूटीफुल चैप्टर। और फिर 13 से 18 तक ये दोनों में एकत्व बताया है। वो जब नोटिस आती है ना, गवर्नमेंट से कुछ नोटिस आती है, इनकम टैक्स से कुछ नोटिस आती है, वो उसका लैंग्वेज कैसा होता है? Why you should not be punished? Give, so क्या बोलते हो? शो कॉज नोटिस, शो कॉज। हमने डिसाइड कर लिया है, वी विल पनिश यू, यू टेल व्हाई वी शुड नॉट। हम उनको नहीं पूछ सकते व्हाई आर यू पनिशिंग मी, नॉट अलाउड। दे विल से वी हैव डिसाइडेड यू आर डिफॉल्टर, व्हाई शुड वी नॉट एक्ट ऑन यू, यू आर गिवन 10 days टू प्रूव, दैट्स इट। दिस इज कॉल्ड शो कॉज नोटिस। वैसे लास्ट के 6 चैप्टर जो है, दे विल सेंड अस शो कॉज नोटिस। We have concluded that you and he is same. You prove how you are separate. A very interesting discussion. तो ये पहले जो विभाग है हमारे बारे में, उसका ये लास्ट चैप्टर हम पढ़ रहे हैं। माने इन शॉर्ट, हमारे द्वारा जो प्रयत्न होना चाहिए, सब लोग अपने जीवन में 2 चीजें अनुभव करते हैं ना, भले ही कोई अध्यात्म नहीं भी पढ़ा हो, तो लोग क्या, कुछ आपकी मेहनत है, और फिर कुछ जो भगवान को मानते हैं वो कहते हैं भगवान की रहम है, जो नहीं मानते वो क्या कहते हैं? लक। सम पीपल से आई वर्क बट देयर शुड बी सम लक आल्सो टुगेदर। देन सब लोग अलग अलग तरीके में इसको मानते ही है ना। कोई उसको बोलते राइट टाइम नहीं आया था, कोई कहता मेरे नसीब में नहीं था, कोई कहता लक, वट एवर मे बी, बट देयर इज समथिंग मोर देन व्हाट आई डू, that everybody has experienced. Otherwise everybody will get what they want. इफ इट वुड हैव बीन ओनली इन माय हैंड। लेकिन आप उसके ऊपर निर्भर भी नहीं रह सकते, कोई बैठा रहेगा आलसी हो, मेरा नसीब जब खुलेगा, वो भी नहीं होता है। ऐसा कहते हैं कि जो सो जाता है तो फिर उसका नसीब भी सो जाता है। जो उठ जाता है तो फिर उसका नसीब भी उठ जाता है, चलने लग जाता है फिर उसका नसीब भी चलने लग जाता है, दौड़ने लगता है उसका नसीब भी दौड़ने लगता है। दैट एवरीबडी हैज एक्सपीरियंस्ड, है ना। तो हमारी ओर से क्या प्रयत्न हो सकता है इस सत्य को जानने के लिए? द हाईएस्ट एफर्ट अ मैन कैन डू विल बी एक्सप्लेन्ड हियर। तो मेडिटेशन क्या है? मनुष्य की ओर से किया जाने वाला हाईएस्ट एफर्ट। आफ्टर दैट नॉट डूइंग एनीथिंग इज अ वर्क। जैसे आपको एक पेड़ लगाना हो तो पहले फिर ज़मीन तैयार करो, फिर वो घास फूस सब निकाल दो, साफ करो, फिर उसमें बीज बो दो, फिर पानी डालो, खाद डालो। आफ्टर दैट डोंट डू एनीथिंग। इफ यू every 1 hour you open and see अभी वो खुल गया क्या, then you will destroy that। उसके बाद कुछ नहीं करना, यही काम है ना। सो मेडिटेशन क्या है? ऑल दैट प्रिपरेशन। इसलिए ये छठा अध्याय रखा है, पहला अध्याय नहीं रखा है। मतलब कई सारे फोन आते रहते हैं, हेलो चिन्मय मिशन, यस मेडिटेशन है क्या क्लास? पहले कुछ करेंगे नहीं, पहले नहीं, डायरेक्ट आई वांट टू डू मेडिटेशन। स्पेलिंग क्या है? MAD। उसके नाम मेडिटेशन चल रहा है। मैं पागल हो चुकी, कुछ भी उनको बता। मेडिटेशन हाँ, अब हम देखेंगे धीरे धीरे जितने भी मेडिटेशन के नाम पे चलती है ना चीज़ें, आई डोंट नो बट यू मस्ट, दिस इज द भगवान के द्वारा बताया हुआ व्हाट इज ऑथेंटिक मेडिटेशन, व्हाट डज मेडिटेशन मीन, एंड दैट इज द हाईएस्ट थिंग वी कैन डू फ्रॉम आवर साइड, है ना। तो छठा अध्याय क्यों रखा है? क्योंकि पहले 5 उसकी प्रिपरेशन है। लेकिन हम तो एब्सेंट थे स्वामी जी, पहले 5 अध्याय हमने सुने नहीं। लेकिन आप तो आते थे, मैंने देखा था आप तो आते थे। नहीं, हम एब्सेंट माइंडेड थे। तो भगवान को पता है, इसलिए वो पहले 2 श्लोक में पूरा 5 चैप्टर जो है वापस रिवाइज कर लेंगे, रिकैप। You want to learn meditation? Yes. Okay, we'll start with 6 chapters. First 2 shlokas, they will summarize first 5 chapters. वैसे हर एक अध्याय जो है अपने आप में गीता में पूर्ण है। Emphasis is on one aspect, है ना। तो कोई कहेगा आप पेट भर के खाना खाना है, यस, तो कितनी रोटी बनाओ? 4 रोटी खाने से मेरा पेट भरता है। एक रोटी खाई, फिर दूसरी खाई, फिर तीसरी खाई, चौथी खाई तो पेट भर गया। तो कल क्या बनाओ? कल एक ही रोटी बनाओ, वो चौथी वाली बनाओ। डायरेक्ट मैं 4th रोटी खाऊंगा, पेट भर जाएगा। 3 बनाने की ज़रूरत बिकॉज ऐसे हो सकता है क्या? चौथी वाली खाएगा तो वो पहली कहलाएगी। यू कैन नॉट बाईपास। कहने का मतलब पहला जो है तैयारी, पूर्व तैयारी। जैसे आप रनवे पे एरोप्लेन नहीं भागेगा तो वो उड़ नहीं सकता। बोले बाद में तो चक्कर का कुछ काम नहीं, वैसे भी उसको अंदर ले लेते, तो अभी ले लो अंदर। अरे फिर तो उड़ेगा कैसे? तो बैठ जाएगा फिर वही। तो बोथ आर इम्पॉर्टेंट इन सीक्वेंस। वापस एक बार बोलो टुगेदर। श्री भगवानुवाच अनाश्रितः कर्म फलं कार्यं कर्म करोति यः स सन्न्यासी च योगी च न निरग्निर्न चाक्रियः। सुंदरानना सुंदरानना शिव 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 सुंदरानना हिमगिरीश्वरा जगदीश्वरा हिमगिरीश्वरा जगदीश्वरा हर 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 हिमगिरीश्वरा शिव 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 जगदीश्वरा सुंदरानना सुंदरानना हर 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 सुंदरानना शिव 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 सुंदरानना जगदीश्वरा चिन्मयेश्वरा जगदीश्वरा चिन्मयेश्वरा हर 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 जगदीश्वरा शिव 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 चिन्मयेश्वरा सुंदरानना सुंदरानना हर 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 सुंदरानना शिव 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 सुंदरानना 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 हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव।
After listening to Swami G's Nama Sankirtanam, the heart wants to revel in Nama Sankirtanam for some more time. So I request Astira Chirumude to kindly chant the Lord's name.
विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय हरि विठ्ठल 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 पांडुरंग विठ्ठल तुकाराम विठ्ठल पांडुरंग विठ्ठल तुकाराम विठ्ठल पांडुरंग विठ्ठल तुकाराम विठ्ठल पांडुरंग विठ्ठल तुकाराम विठ्ठल नामदेव विठ्ठल विठ्ठल नामदेव विठ्ठल नामदेव विठ्ठल सुखमया विठ्ठल नामदेव विठ्ठल सुखमया विठ्ठल 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 जय हरि विठ्ठल 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 जय हरि विठ्ठल 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 जय हरि विठ्ठल सोपानदेव विठ्ठल मुक्ताबाई विठ्ठल सोपानदेव विठ्ठल मुक्ताबाई विठ्ठल सोपानदेव विठ्ठल मुक्ताबाई विठ्ठल सोपानदेव विठ्ठल मुक्ताबाई विठ्ठल ज्ञानदेव विठ्ठल
ज्ञानदेव विठ्ठल जनाबाई विठ्ठल ज्ञानदेव विठ्ठल जनाबाई विठ्ठल ज्ञानदेव विठ्ठल जनाबाई विठ्ठल ज्ञानदेव विठ्ठल जनाबाई विठ्ठल 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 जय हरि 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 विठ्ठल पुंडलीक वरदे हरि विठ्ठल श्री ज्ञानदेव तुकाराम पंढरीनाथ महाराज की जय सतनाथ महाराज की जय
So as I was saying, that Swamiji expected proactive participation of all students and listeners in his yajnas and camps and study classes. One such method of ensuring proactive participation was a concept of is a concept of relay yajna, which is followed all across Chinmaya mission centers. Swamiji always used to say that the book of self-unfoldment has been the reason for the change of the course of his life towards spirituality. Swamiji loved that book. During his days at IIT Bombay, he had himself studied the book alone. Swamiji taught all of us to learn Vedanta, but he also taught us to love Vedanta. And that is why, keeping in mind his love for the book of self-unfoldment, which is written by Swami Chinmaya, we have taken up this book as the topic for the relay yajna, which will be conducted today. Now, exactly what is the relay yajna will be explained to us by Deepti Didi.
Offering to the God. So this is offering for Pujya Swamiji Siddheshanandji. There are various topics divided of book self unfoldment, which will be speaking by different speakers.
Thank you, Amma. The coordination of today's relay yajna has actually been done by Deepti Didi. And as she said, that the chapters of the book Self-Unfoldment have been divided amongst various students and seekers, and they will be explaining their particular chapters. Some of us are here at Chinmaya Mauli Ashram, and some have connected with us remotely. So each speaker will be speaking according to the chapter allotted to them. We will now begin with the first chapter.
Yeah, Sandeep, please go ahead for your first chapter 1.
Yeah. Okay. Hari Om.
Can you please switch on your video, Sandeep? Yeah, Hari Om.
Yeah. You are able to hear?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can see you.
Okay. Discover the secret strength. It is the privilege of man to achieve greatness. Success should have been his habit, and yet we find millions upon millions suffering in their disorganized life, the agonies of failure. In our modern society, for every individual, for every successful man, we watch hundreds who are disappointed, dejected, and broken down. Has As on a grinding stone, people get themselves crushed in the competition of the modern material world and its marketplace. Yet all the spiritual literature of the world unanimously declares that this need not be the tragedy of the human race if the individual members know the art of diligently using their own abilities and efficiencies. Vedanta uncompromisingly insists that the man is essentially perfect and therefore infinite are the possibilities that lie lurking in him. The rishis cry, we must realize that we have within ourselves all the resources, abilities, energy, and power for building up a supremely successful life for everyone and for others in the world. There is one great and covetable gift which is distinctly ours at all times, and this is our profound capacity to discover, develop, and usefully employ the infinite essence in us. A life organized for the discovery of the potentialities already existing within ourselves and the ordering of our behavior so as to nurture and nourish them is a life well spent. Herein, our success depends upon the amount of transformation we can successfully bring about in our personality and character. The vital question is not how many talents each one of us has, but how much of our existing talents we can explore, develop, and exploit. An individual may have many talents, and yet he can be a miserable failure in life. That person is successful who makes a practical use of at least one great talent that he possesses. Our present and future welfare thus mainly depends upon ourselves. Let us not look outside ourselves for help. Let us not fall into delusion that influence of others would enable us to do better and accomplish more. All our success entirely depends upon ourselves. Let us realize these fundamentals. What we regularly encourage and consistently cultivate in our mind determines our character and ultimately our destiny. Evidently, an intelligent choice of thought can transform the character pattern in us. The entire destiny of our life that then lies is in our own hands. To an intelligent man alone is given the freedom for rebuilding his future. A true seeker is he who is constantly asserting day by day, hour by hour, and he alone has this privilege of ordering his future lifestyle. This screaming, misguided world wherein men are suffering today from their own inner inefficiencies need religion more than any other age ever did. No doubt, the generation has easy capacity to learn and appreciate philosophy, but childlike today's man always fails to live to its senor dictates. Religion is not an attempt at improving the conditions of the world so that people may gain freedom from all wants and needs, enjoying thus a higher standard of living. But religion imparts the art of living by which each one discovers in himself the equipoise to stand up to the life situation and meeting efficiently the ever-changing world of challenges he has to meet. Hari Om.
You can start.
Hari Om. Very well explained by Mr. Davade sir. We discussed about higher knowledge. The same topic is further continued in chapter 2. Chapter 2 is very amazingly explained by our Pujya Gurudev. It has been progressively mentioned in majorly 5 topics. It goes progressively in a way how we deal with the world, how we look at the world, and how we look within. After knowing this, the next point that comes up is what next? For this, we see that this can be achieved by right thinking. The right thinking, once we understand, in the same way, we have to understand how our mind works and how our mind functions. Then progressively, we see like how to look within. This has been explained, and for which interception we see introspection is very much needed. Further, our vasanas and which dominates the most of our life. And furtherly, on the 5th point, we see how to build a future depending upon our vasanas and our prarabdha and our purushartha. So let's start from the first point, which goes with how world and we look at it. There was a time when religion completely ignored science. They were not ready to accept science. They always, such religions devastated and completely took themselves to grave and destroyed themselves. The same thing is happening in today's world now. We see that science has progressed so much that they absolutely do not accept religion, and because of which mankind is not able to bring the joy, the happiness in life. Everywhere the same thing can be seen. The science is developing, the physical aspect of the world is being more looked into, the material world is developing. However, the inner peace, the inner happiness is not being achieved. This is mainly because how to look at the world is not being learned at the early age, and we are going away from religion and spiritual world, which should be taught at an early age. Now, how can we achieve this? Because after knowing how to look at the world and after knowing how to look in ourselves, how to implement it, for which we need to understand how to do right thinking. Now, we very commonly see that in our life, we tend to lose our temper at house, then we tend to get angry. We also misbehave at times, talk rudely and disrespectfully with our parents, with our relatives, in relations and friends. However, we don't intend to do this. Our intentions are good, but we don't tend to hold our emotions properly, manage our mind properly. For this, we need to understand how right thinking works. Now, here we see that unwanted qualities tend to are being showed off or come out of us because of these bad thoughts which tend to generate unwanted thoughts which tend to generate in ourselves, because of which an unpleasant personality is developed inside us, because of which a lot of people tend to go away from us. Nobody wants to sit with us, nobody wants to talk with us because of these negative qualities. On the other hand, when we have positive qualities in us, the positive personality is being displayed out due to right thinking, then people tend to come closer to us, tend to want to talk to us and want to be in our company. Now, we can have beautiful body, we can have rich bungalows and $1 million, but if our mind is not good, then our personality is not good. We tend to be a bad person. At the same time, our mind is beautiful, we become a good person and we portray a good image for the society and contribute on a positive note. Now, looking further, most of our actions are being guided by our vasanas. We see that vasanas are our problems. How? Because we see that the way we see the world is being through our mind and intellect. It creates an artificial image in front of us, because of which we tend to take a wrong decision. A wrong data is and our body. Like we see how Gurudev has very beautifully explained here in the book that how a small baby enjoys the world, enjoys himself, looking at the world. The lamp is there on the top, looks at it, it smiles, plays with it, and it's enjoying in its own world. So the same way, we as a human being, when we are on a journey to learn, we should be learning it first, all the qualities which are within us, the quality of mind within us, and then try to understand world outside. So we see the world with respect to us. If not, then otherwise we tend to see the world first. We see the negativities happening. We see all the bad things happening and interpret in a wrong way. And we are not able to visualize our existence and this world. Going ahead, we see most of our actions depend upon our prarabdha, which is the effect of our past. It's a big topic of discussion among various ages, like how is our past life and what exactly comes from our past. But our past, as explained by Gurudev, Pujya Gurudev here, our past does have a major effect on our life today, in our present. However, we have a very good chance in exhausting these vasanas and going further and creating a better future for us, which is, we say, the Purushartha. In Purushartha, we see we have an option of managing our mind, managing our life with respect to right thinking, looking within, and destroying our vasanas, and similarly challenging brighter goals, bigger goals for the betterment of the society and this world, and having a better Purushartha. Hari Om.
Hari Om. My name is Aboli. There is a very old and very famous popular story of a woodcutter who keeps on cutting trees in the forest for a very long time. And at the end of 2 to 3 years, he realizes that even though he is very strong to cut those trees, he is not able to cut enough trees, as many as he could on the first day or during the first few months. So upon inquiry, he realizes that that is because his axe had become very blunt. So it is very important to keep the instruments that we are using and the tools that we employ, even for our spiritual journey, they have to be very sharp and ready. Now, how to keep your tools, that is the mind, the body, and the intellect sharp and alert for the spiritual journey is seen through in this particular chapter. Three aspects, three basic pillars. And in the chapter, it is also said that these are the basic tenets or the founding pillars of Hindu culture itself. So, what are these three things? The first thing is Satyam, which means intellectual honesty. The second is Brahmacharya, which means self control. And the third is Ahimsa, which means non violence. Now, these words we have used in common parlance for meaning completely different things from what they mean in the current context. So, I will dwell into what they actually mean, what Gurudev actually meant by them. Satyam, that is intellectual honesty, means being honest to your convictions. Suppose I have a doubt about my spiritual journey or my faith, then I should sit and I should sort that out. I should debate, discuss, question, ask, and look for answers. But at the end of it, I should reach a conviction. And after that, in my entire life, I should stand up to that conviction. I should live up to it. If I falter from that, that is dishonesty. I should be honest to my own convictions. So we falter when there is an onslaught of emotions or an onslaught of a lot of desires that come. At that time, we convince ourselves that maybe these convictions are not that important. But that is dishonesty. So intellectual honesty means living up above the tides of emotions and desires. The second one is Brahmacharya. In the book, also, it is said that this is the most misunderstood aspect of spiritual journey. Brahmacharya does not merely mean curbing or denying oneself of certain pleasures or certain desires. It means controlling those desires. In the book, there is a very interesting line which says that you enjoy the world. Don't let the world enjoy you. This is the second aspect. In Brahmacharya, more than denial will lead to suppression. It is expected that we control our desires and enjoy them in a controlled manner. The third one is Ahimsa. Ahimsa, as we all know, means non-violence. And here, non-violence is spoken in the form of a vision or a mental non-violence, which means you should not think bad also for other people. Rather than just hurting somebody physically, we mustn't think bad or hurtful for other beings. So the key point in this is to forgive. It is good to forgive and it is best to forgive. So these are the three main tenets that have been discussed here. There are two other which will be discussed by Divya. Thank you.
Hariom. As Aboli said, now we have started, as we start practicing ahimsa, satyam, and brahmacharya, yet even that is not enough. We have to be efficient. What is efficiency? Efficiency is to develop the talent in us and to funnel it in the field of action. So now let us understand more about efficiency. Plants, they are also efficient, but they are restricted as they cannot move. Animals, they have limited freedom and are prompted by their instincts and impulses. But man has the gift of intellect. He can choose for himself. Efficiency, he has the freedom to set a goal for himself willfully and inherit his abilities and capacities in the field of his action. Efficiency is not measured in quantity or in quality. It is measured by the work he does, by the dynamism in his action. In the West, they say that Einstein was a genius, but our rishis say that genius were not born. Genius is evolved by self-discipline, self-molding, and self-development. This involves three steps. The first is generating dynamism. The second is conserving the dynamism. And the third is redirecting it in the field of action. Now let us understand more about dynamism. Life is dynamic. In every living being, dynamism exists. Like electricity is supplied to a bulb, the bulb will glow. But if there is dust on the bulb, the light will not be bright. Similarly, if we supply electricity to a radio, the radio will the merely connecting electricity, supplying electricity will not be enough. We have to tune the radio. Similarly, we have to tune our mind as well. So we can it's dynamism exists in all, as I said. It exists in small children, a boy of 2 years old, but it's not completely developed. In old people, in an old man, it has worn out. But in youth, there is tremendous amount of efficiency. There is tremendous amount of dynamism. Yet that much is not enough. We have to channelize this efficiency, this dynamism in a proper way, in a constructive way. Otherwise, it will create chaos. Let us consider example of Hitler, Ravana. They were dynamic, yet they were destructive. They caused destruction because their dynamism wasn't channelized in a proper manner. So to make our life fruitful, let us all channelize our dynamism in the right direction.
talking on chapter 4 of Manual of Self-Unfoldment, and I'll be covering the first three topics, namely conservation of energy, channels of leakage of energy, and source of energy. Now, how can we conserve energy? So, we must have observed if we are really worried about something, discontented about something, or having negative thoughts like jealousy, anger, then we feel really fatigued and tired. But on the contrary, if you are enthusiastic, positive, not complaining, grateful, and living in the present and doing our work with focus, we feel really energetic and don't feel really fatigued or tired even after a busy day, right? So we can conserve our energy by being very positive in our outlook, being forgiving of others, loving others, and having contrary thoughts contrary to the negative thoughts of anger, hatred, jealousy, etc. Now comes the second topic, leakage of energy. So there are three main channels, rather only three channels through which the energy leaks. That is regrets of the past, excitement in the present, and anxiety of future. See, if we are worried about or having thoughts about our the failures we had in past or whatever bad experiences we have, then a part of our mind, instead of living in the present and working in the present, will be still dwelling on the past, and we cannot be 100% focused on what we are doing. And those bad memories of the past will make us feel miserable, will give rise to negative thoughts. So that explains why we should not have any regrets of the past. Now, regarding excitement of present, that prevents us from focusing on the task at hand. Say if you have got 10 tasks right now and you keep on flipping from one task to another, you will not be able to finish anything. So it's better to be calm and collected and focus on one thing at a time. Now comes anxiety for future. If we are really anxious about and have built castles in air about what we will be in future, then same thing, just like regrets of past, a part of the mind will be there, and at slightest of obstacles which we meet in our work, we will feel dejected, we will get really nervous because we will think that our expected goals will not be met. So it's a poor policy to have regrets of past, having excitement in the present, and being anxious of the future. Now comes the source of energy. We can derive great energy if we work not for our selfish means, not for our, say, enjoyment, but we work dedicated to a cause. That can be nation, God, or say our own self development. All right. So I conclude. Hari Om. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, requesting Ameya to start his video and unmute.
I already unmuted and my video is on. I'll start.
Yes.
Gurudev says, as the mind, so the man. Every human is forced to battle constantly with the things and the beings. That is external factors. We all have become slaves to our uncontrollable desires and undisciplined thoughts. So no one can escape from these external threats and challenges, and hence we all eventually feel, defeated, and we lose hope. Instead of facing the challenges, we surrender to the external factors, and then we get defeated and get trashed. Our actions are led by feelings and not by intellectual discrimination, which is dangerous to our welfare and prosperity. Religion keeps our intellectual discrimination alive, and it helps in our action, and they become more productive. Our mind receives impulses from the external world, and we respond directly without guidance of an intellect. This brings dissatisfaction and discontent in life. Gurudev says, mind is the man. As the mind, so the individual. Our outer mind facing the object or the outer world is called as the objective mind, which we call as mana. And the inner mind is called as subjective mind, which is our buddhi. Individuals, both of these mind should work in harmony. they should work all together. But as we nourish our egoistic desires within us, they are split aside, keeping us confused and egoistic. Our organs of perception, that is our jnanendriyas, they collect the impulses from outer world created by the sense organs, which are our receptors, and send them to the objective mind. These impulses reach subjective mind, react with existing impression of humans' past actions, get themselves expressed in outside world through 5 organs of our karmendriya, or organs of actions. All of us through our lives keep on experiencing outer world. We react to it, and slowly we create a barrier between ourselves and the spiritual divinity that shines as a pure consciousness within all of us. So a problem becomes a problem when we don't know the solution to the problem. An objective mind needs a subjective mind to help solve problems which are generated by stimuli, the external factors that are coming from the external world. If the barrier between two minds is big, they are far apart, they are not in harmony, then we cannot reach to a decision. And as the mind and intellect, they are far apart. So no judgment of outside world is true unless we eliminate our selfish ego from our hearts. To bring objective mind under discipline as per the guidance of subjective mind is called as yoga. We must remove our egocentric desires to come to in this stage, wherein our Buddhi Yoga in Gita, it refers to the same meaning of the yoga. When a subjective and objective minds are together, person's actions become skilled and his objective mind reacts intellectually. This in turns make a subjective mind more clear and crystalline. Thus, the subjective mind is secret weapon to let go existing impressions, but average man does a vice versa. They stock up all the mental impressions and behave in a different way. An unhealthy mind divided into in itself, it becomes a prey to host of psychological desires. Hence, we should always practice yoga, and we should always try to have both of our objective and subjective minds in harmony altogether. Hari Om.
Hari Om. I want to talk about the first 3 topics of chapter number 5, eliminating vasanas. I hope I am going to enjoy this. Oh wait, did you notice my sentences were a bit unusual? I am going to enjoy. This is the only origination of the vasanas. Gurudev says, when any action is undertaken with ego and egocentric desires, the I want, I enjoy this, I love this, leaves its impressions as vasanas in us, resulting in repetition of the same action, which grows in a habit, which never gives you peace, poison life. And a poised mind is a sure way to material as well as spiritual well-being. Gurudev here makes it easy for us by giving an example. A criminal mind becomes a professional murderer with each added murder, while an army officer, though has killed many, never becomes a murderer. In the battle, he killed not for his own ego satisfaction, but in the defense of his country. So here it becomes necessary to eliminate the vasanas. Gurudev explains here the method from Bhagavad Gita of eliminating the vasanas known as karma yoga. If a man has a higher ideal surrendering to which he can act, no action can bring new vasanas. In fact, even the existing vasanas then get washed away through their actions. No vasanas, no thoughts, no more desire prompting actions. This state of actionlessness is defined as the state of pure awareness, the infinite reality. But at the same time, this should not be misunderstood with the dull, impotent, lifeless actionlessness.
Gurudev says we don't have a choice to act, but we do have a choice of how to act. Gurudev here also bring into notice that how a community should be ready to work hard to strive to achieve success, productivity, and prosperity by applying the principle of Karma Yoga. Also, the outer world cannot propel us to act in a certain manner. It is our own ego and egocentric temptation, that is vasana, for an object which comes through our actions. And hence, Karma Yoga or surrendering to the higher is the only way to eliminate vasanas. Next, Gurudev says about the nature of causal, subtle, and gross body. The true nature of human being is all perfect, omnipotent, and omniscient. But he is ignorant of his real spiritual identity, and because of this ignorance, he feels himself imperfect. The divine spark whose presence makes a living being different than the dead body is called as Atman, is presented as Om. The causal body of our personality, the unconscious layer of our mind, is indicated as ignorance, avidya, is the cause of our sense of restlessness, loneliness, fear, and so on, which in turn affects gross and subtle bodies. The gross body contains the 5 organs of perception and the 5 organs of action. It is the medium through which the individual contacts the outer world of objects and experiences his joys and sorrows. The subtle body is made up of the mental and the intellectual sheaths. The mental sheath is our emotions, feelings of the mind, and the intellectual sheath is of ideas, ideals, our morals of the intellect. All these are mere thoughts. So the causal body of avidya has an effect on subtle body of thoughts and then on the gross body of action. This is what I have understood from this topic. Hari Om.
Hari Om. So as mentioned by Gita, continuing the same thought flow, we come to know that if we want to live a life of happiness and spiritual progress, controlling our urges is very important. Now, these urges are nothing but our vasanas, which do not let us see things in the right perspective, and they color our vision. These vasanas or urges can broadly be classified under 3 categories. First are the social urges, which is also called as loka vasana. Second are the physical urges, which are also called as deha vasana. And the third are the urges to know, which we can call as shastra vasana. Now, these 3 urges incorrectly manifest in the world outside during our transactions in the form of loka anuvartanam, basically where we want to imitate the world. Also in the form of deha anuvartanam, where we want to implicitly follow and obey the commands of our body. And the third as shastra anuvartanam, where we blindly want to follow the scriptures without understanding the deep import of what they are actually trying to convey. Hence, the solution to avoid this pitfall is self-control. Now, we must understand that this self-control, hearing the word generally, are first taken aback. But we need to understand that this self-control is something which is actually not going to kill our personality or our individuality. In fact, it is going to enhance our performance. It is going to conserve our energy in the wrong paths, and we will be able to channelize that energy into a fuller vision for ourselves. So, as far as this particular self-control is concerned, we must make a best effort from our side to understand it well and at the same time implement it in our life. Lord Krishna himself in chapter 2.6 has mentioned a verse wherein he tells us that after controlling all our urges, we need to focus continuously on the Lord, and that is actually the highway to success. As you know, mentioned rightly by Divya also in the earlier section, that's why in our culture it is said that geniuses or brilliant people can be made. They are not mere accidents in life. So this was the first section. Coming to the second section, it talks about attachment, which is our tragedy. In this, there is very beautifully portrayed the ladder of fall in Gita chapter 2.62 and 2.63. Would just like to mention those verses because these verses were very dear to our Swami G as well. And I recollect whenever I have been associated and I had gone with him to college talks, I used to see most of the times he used to mention this particular verse. So it goes as the ladder of fall. Dhyayato vishayan pumsah sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamah kamat krodha vijayate krodhat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibhramah smriti bhramshat buddhinashah buddhinashat pranashyati. So basically through this ladder of fall, we are basically given an alert that a small slip in self-control, wherein casually we want to maybe just ponder over something, that ultimately can lead to a process where we will perish ourselves. So we need to take care of that. The third topic talks about the real and the unreal, where it says that whenever we are contacting a particular thing in the outer world, there are three things which we misunderstand in our transactions with the object. First is that they have satyatvam, that is a sense of truth, that they are real. Second is nityatvam, that they are permanent. And third is samachitatvam, where they have a capacity to make us happy. This wrong notion we must be aware of. And we can also see it from the fact that whenever we say something is unreal, we ensure or we come to know that it was not there in the past, it is not going to be there in the future, but only it is appearing in the present. And as far as the definition of real goes, we have seen that that which is present in all three periods of time, that is called as real, and which is nothing but our true nature, our substratum. So we must identify with that. The last topic I will cover quickly in a few seconds. There they are talking about an experience being dissected. So there it says that though we as an individual entity actually are dealing with the world, but actually it is 4 different personalities in us which are contacting the world outside. And generally if we see our experience, we will notice that all these 4 personalities are generally not in unison. And we have an unhappy experience most of the times. So the solution given is try to identify with your subtler personality. More or less, most of the times, the grosser personality will be happy. So let's follow these teachings and tread the path of success to the divine. Hari Om, thank you.
Hari Om. I'll try to summarize chapter number 6. So in this chapter, Gurudev started with the definition as well as the importance of contemplation and why it is necessary for the journey of spiritualism. So we interact with the external world through our body, mind, and intellect. So these are the instruments through which we interact with different objects and gain the experiences. It is same as that we have different electrical instruments in our home, like tube, bulb, TV, AC, fridge, and we get different experiences. But if we try to see who am I, then I am not the body or mind or intellect. So these are not the myself, but I am something different from this. And this is the energy which flows through these instruments, which is called as self or Atma. All the modern scientists, they try to focus on inquiries as well as the experiences about the external world. But our rishis has focused on the inquiry of this Atma or the self, and this is called as contemplation. So Gurudev said that what is it that prevent us from doing the contemplation? So mainly it is the ego. Ego is very well defined, very clearly defined as it is the attachment we have gained for the past experiences or the memories which are retained into our mind, or these are the attachments which we get for the hopes of the future. So either these are related to the past or to the future which is not even born. The way to get away from these attachments or the egos is live in the present continuously, just by surrendering yourself to the Lord and to the Sadguru, and try to follow their teaching. So this is the simple way to get away from the attachments as well as from the ego. Then Gurudev further explained, depending upon the consciousness or the self-consciousness, we can have three different types of relationship with the self. If I attach myself only with the body, then I am having the relationship called as a slavery or the slave of this particular body. If I go beyond body and attach myself with body, mind and intellect, then I am a Jew or a separate entity, maybe part of the whole. It's also called as Advait. It's also called as Dvaita relationship. So not the whole. The third and the highest relationship is I attach myself beyond body, mind and intellect and feel myself as the whole itself. That is the Advaita relationship. So these are the three relationships Gurudev has very well explained. Then Gurudev also mentioned that spirituality is not different from what we live day to day. So every day we try to achieve two things. One is Sukha Prapti and second is Dukha Nivrutti. So all these modern scientists, individual, the spiritual groups, as well as the government organization, they try to find some pattern to achieve the Sukha Prapti and Dukha Nivrutti. But so far they couldn't define a particular pattern or functional method particularly for this. But our spiritual scientists, they have given this method of Sukha Prapti and Dukha Nivrutti. Gurudev also mentioned that we always get confused between success and happiness. So success depends on the efficiency of our body, mind, intellect, these instruments. So even though we have achieved the success, we may not get happiness because happiness depends on the noble qualities of our thoughts and our mind. These noble qualities includes love, kindness, compassion, integrity. If we have these qualities with our mind and intellect and in our heart, then we can enjoy the success with happiness. That means if your mind is calm, cool, then happiness is there. If your mind is not calm, it is always disturbed, then even though we have the success, we may not be having the happiness. Then Gurudev warned that the spirituality is usually misconceptualized as a person who gets dejected in life, fails to do something, or gets the disappointments or disasters, he usually turns towards spirituality. Gurudev said, no, that's not the way. For getting the spiritual path or understanding the spirituality, one has to have very strong physical, mental, emotional, and psychological state. Only then we will be able to learn the path of the spirituality. With that, Gurudev mentioned 4 different qualifications for a spiritual student. These are, first is Vivek, that means the ability or capacity to discriminate between real, what is unreal, what is true, what is false. That's a Vivek. Second one is Vairagya. Vairagya is not leaving this world, but it is attaining that kind of a detachment which is achieved by getting a realization that something I trust is not actually real. So by knowing the unreal nature of that particular thing, we get a detachment. That is Vairagya. The third one is mainly Sata Sampatti, which relates to the qualities of our mind. And these qualities are Sama, means calmness of our mind, Dhamma, that is control of your sense organs. Then Uparati is self-withdrawal from all the disturbances around us. Next one is the Titiksha, which says true spiritual stamina. Next one is the Shraddha, that is belief or faith into the underlying words of our scriptures as well as our Sadgurus. And then the Samadhan, that is the state of a mind that attains poise and tranquility. And the fourth qualification apart from these three is a Mumuksattvam, which is nothing but continuously burning desire to achieve the perfectness and the powerfulness. So these are the 4 qualifications Gurudev has mentioned. And then I would like to summarize this chapter with a very good quote which I like personally. That is, wake up, arise, and do not stop till the goal is reached. Hari Om.
So now we saw what are the qualities of the student that who will make inquiry into the more conscious his own self. So when such individual goes on to inquire, who am I? Or who is this more consciousness? Who is this God? So first he perceives himself as man. So his gross body, that is his physical existence, is the first thing where he inquires. He starts his inquiry from there. So his gross, we see that mind is made up of five different layers. So the first one is called the food sheath. So in food sheath, we have our organs of perception through which we can sense the world, through which we can conceive the world. So it has our ear, nose, tongue, touch, these sense organs. As we move ahead, we have the air sheath. So in the air, through the air sheath, we have the pranas, through which these we are able to, the mind is able to feel or is able to consciously interpret what the organs are sending the signals to us. As we move ahead, we have mind and the intellect sheath. So mind we can think of as our seat of emotions, and intellect we can think of as a firm conviction which comes to us whenever we face any challenges in the outside world. So whatever are our past experiences, all those are in our mind and the intellect space. When we go still inside, we have the bliss sheath or the vasana sheath. So it is the subtlest of our desires, uh, which cause the other grosser layers to function properly. But when we closely, this is for our understanding, the five divisions of the layer. But the mind, when the human being is working in the world, all these work very seamlessly. For example, if someone steps on a fire, then the response which he gets is very quick, and in that response, all the five sheets come in the place. So when a person has inquiry ahead, who am I actually? Like who is the consciousness, a real consciousness behind? So he goes on thinking more deeper, and we see many examples given in this chapter, wherein there are many tarkas which help us to connect us and the consciousness. It helps us to know that we are not different from the consciousness. So uh, this consciousness which is in us is nothing but the supreme being, and we can take example of thread and a cloth. So cloth is nothing but different threads woven into each other, and so is a cotton, which is a more subtle form of the same. So when we say that cotton is thread and cloth, it is actually the truth. So in sciences, many sciences today, we find inquiries into different aspects of life. So in their own perspective, all of them are true. But when we want a fuller understanding of who is the self, then none of them will be sufficient. So for that, we are supposed to have a more calmer mind who can tell me who am I. So for that, we need to tame our mind, and we need to have a more peaceful mind. So for that, mind is nothing but a flow of thoughts, and what rishis tried is they tried to remove these thoughts by eradication of vasanas, and through the pure mind, they made the inquiry in the self. And in this process, the object of inquiry, the method of inquiry, and the person who was inquiring, we find become the same. So this is the encouragement given to us to perceive the questions like who is the consciousness and what is its relationship with me. This path looks very dull, might look very dull and tough, that I have to know the consciousness. But the rishis have mentioned here three techniques, and we can use them in combinations to make it more effective and keep us inspired. So they have mentioned the study of scriptures so that we dwell upon the idea. We are in the idea. Then the japa technique with which our mind is made calm, and the meditation with which we actually go through the experience of what we learn in our studies and japa. So using these, they have advised us to use these three techniques and make this experience of knowing our consciousness thrilled, keep us thrilled, and nothing but will make us do all this. So for that, we should keep our practices going on. Dhanyavad.
Hari Om. So in continuation with the previous chapter, what Saili said, I will be covering the topic of taming the mind. So one more thing was conveyed in the previous chapter is that how much one is stable in different ups and downs of the life is the measure for counting the spiritual growth or progress of that person. So apart from taming the mind, the other points which I will be covering are the japa technique of rosary, pitfalls in japa, act rather than worrying, stop worrying, and relax in this jet age. So to start with, taming the mind, right? So as per discussed in the previous chapter, the seeker must follow the three main things to achieve the spiritual goal. That is regular swadhyay, japa, and meditation, that is dhyanam. So for the preparation of japa, taming our mind is the utmost of utmost importance. So taming literally means taking our mind, tackling our mind, controlling it, and bringing it under our control. So mind is mere thought flow, just as water flowing in the river, continuous flow of water in the river. So the thought flow is mind, similar to river. So if thoughts are good, mind is good. If thoughts are agitated, the mind is also agitated. To tame the river, we have to control the flow of water. So similar, it's important for mind also. For taming mind, what we have to do is we have to change the quality, the quantity of mind, the thoughts, and direction of thought flow. So quality of thought can be changed by controlling, by being in the good, by being in company of good books, noble men, ideal thoughts, inspiring ideals, which ultimately is the path of devotion towards bhakti. Being in the good company that can help us to control the quality of our thoughts. Quantity of thoughts can be changed by our mind is always flooded by thoughts of either the fears for future or the current present situations, anxieties and worries. So if we undertake selfless work and dedicate it to the altar, or dedicate all our activities to at the altar, or surrender it at the altar of our ideal or the Lord, the quantity of thoughts that we come across can be changed. In short, which is ultimately the karma yoga, the dedicated actions. So this can be used to control the quantity of thoughts. Direction of thoughts, to control direction of thoughts can be done by knowledge, by pursuit of knowledge, that is jnana yoga, right? Even if in any one of these paths is followed, the others are automatically achieved. Like one may like one of the three methods more, so that will help for others also. One who in whom quantity of thought is reduced or diminished, quality and direction also changes. Japa is very powerful way of taming the mind or changing the quality, quantity and direction of thoughts. So I remember Guruji, Puja Guruji has had taken this selected verses from Bhagavad Gita in our youth camp. So that chapter 17, 16th verse, that was Manaprasada Saumyatvam Maunamatma Vidigraha Bhava Sanshuddhiritya Tapo Manasa Muchyate. So serenity of mind, good-heartedness, silence, self-control, purity of nature, these together are called the mental austerity. So tapas of mind. So these help in taming the mind. So japa technique, it's a technique of rosary In short, Gurudev has conveyed that it's inward journey, preparing to know my own self. Japa is to repeat with a mala, a mantra, continuously fixing our mind upon the divine. In Japa, our mind becomes extremely single-pointed. Mind seasoned with Japa is very conducive for meditation. Japa makes our mind capable of consistent and single-pointed applications so as to achieve anything worth in life. So important aspect for conveying the importance, Gurudev has given example of sunrays falling on the object. So convex lens used can burn the object rather than the scattered sunlight. I'll take one more minute, sorry. So Japa helps in training the mind in fixing itself to single line of thinking. There is close connection between name and form. So Japa technique is used in combination with the rosary and form of your like, whatever form of God you like. So principle of attachment to any object is by repetition of the thoughts about that object. So attachment to Lord and detachment from world or objects, that Japa technique helps for doing this. So we may wonder like whether this is really used by somebody. So in history, this esteemed teacher of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the Samartha Ramdas Swami G, he perfected himself through this Japa Yoga of Sri Ram Mantra, and then he guided Shivaji Maharaj also for attaining his goals. So I will in short explain how to do Japa. Like we have to start with the special room or quiet place corner. Picture of Lord with Lord's feet at your eye level, comfortable asan, and a mala with 108 beads. Gaze at Lord's feet and feel his presence, and repeat the chosen mantra on mala, avoiding the index finger. That movement of mala whenever stops, you become aware and the mind pulls back again, and you can again start concentrating on your japa. Standing 108 times 20 malas every day is what Gurudev has recommended. So mantra given by a teacher, it's like a living seed. So that power of strength of Guru comes with to the disciple also, so that he can also continue with his sadhana of japa. So japa helps or takes us from form to formless. So any Vedantic mantras like Tatvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, or any Puranic mantras like Om Namo Narayana can be taken as mantra to start with. So pitfalls in japa, like japa is a technique, so we have to master the skill slowly, and there are some pitfalls. Chanting mantra with mind is difficult, so start with loud chanting and then slowly inside the mind. So I think I should stop here and hand over to the next.
Hari Om. I'm just going to share one very small thing. Swamiji had come to our college, Cummins College, when I was in a final year, and he had come to take a lecture as a guest lecturer on stress management, because we all were very much stressed in our final year exams. And I very vividly remember the words what he had spoken. I didn't understand much, but I still remember the day very clearly, that he had conducted guided meditation on at the end of the lecture. So that was the experience which made me turn towards the spirituality, and I have the topic of speaking on meditation only. So he always used to tell that you should give 10 minutes to each BMI, that is for 10 minutes for exercise, japa and meditation, 10 minutes for your mind and 10 minutes for your intellect. So I will be covering these topics in detail. Meditation step by step is given, that is the first topic. Then step by step, the second aspect will be covered. Third is how to halt the mind, and in the end it will be explained that how to meditate in a very small short formula kind of thing. So first, meditation, here Gurudev has said that final gateway leads to supreme self within. So before reaching the self, our mind should be withdrawn from the sensual activities, 5 koshas. Mind's nature being extrovert, lot of desires and agitations are created inside us. So we have to disengage our mind's attention from the world. As seen in the last chapter, like Saili told and Prashant also told, that three paths, that is Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, are the ways to exhaust our vasanas and then tame our mind. So further Gurudev explains that if you want to really attempt for meditation, firstly you have to detach yourself from the gross external world, secondly your physical body, and then third the subtle body. So regarding the gross external world, we need to find a quiet place first. Then we need to choose a exact time and place at what time we want to do the meditation. And basically it is explained here that real tranquility is found within oneself and not in the environment. I remember Swami Subodhananji, once he was telling that there may be Kali Yuga outside, but inside you can develop the yuga which you want. So if you want Satyug, your mind can make it as a Satyug. So accordingly, you fix a comfortable seat and position. Then later, for withdrawing from the physical body, once the external gross body is withdrawn, then withdrawing yourself from the physical body, you need to have a correct posture. You need to sit with a vertebral column erect. Then close your eyes. Then right hand should be on your calf muscle with a mala, and left hand same on the left thigh. So look within, and comfortable position is the most important thing while doing meditation. Thirdly, thought massage is the aspect which makes our self mentally, we have to make our body parts free and muscles free. Then after that, it must be very important that while meditation, you need to know what the subtle body is. So subtle body is basically made up of mind, which is nothing but doubts and feelings. Intellect is buddhi, ahamkara is ego, and chit is conditioned consciousness. So to take a control over our subtle body, we need to overcome the thought flow of our mind. So once this fourth aspect, that is the chit, it merges with the chidakash, then we are able to overcome the walls of mind, intellect, and the conditioned ego, and ultimately we become one with the final self. So thus a meditator is cautioned not to initiate any fresh thoughts. We need to become a witnesser, and through a thought parade, we need to always learn to observe our thoughts, let them come and let them go, but don't get involved and participate in them. So after that, you need to start loud chanting of mantra. This will create a long and vibrate the atmosphere. Thus our sense organs will be tamed. So next our step is halting the mind. So by halting the mind, we will be basically coming into a position wherein after chanting of mantras, our atmosphere will be created where our thoughts will be completely stopped, and we'll experience a thoughtless state in which after that no thought is there and we need to enjoy that thought. This is basically meditation. So in short, I have explained the basic steps, as also Swami Siddheshanji explained in today's thought, that meditation is basically the highest effort which one can make. So we need not strain ourselves. We need to be alert, relax, and then thus reach our final gateway to the Supreme Self. Thank you.
Hari Om. Yeah, okay. Hari Om. So thanks to everyone. Everyone has very beautifully summarized all the chapters. Now we have reached to the last chapter of this self-unfoldment book. The last chapter is known as Tips for Success, and it says that tips for success and you should never hurry. So I will try to not hurry in my talk. So I'll just try to preach that in my talk. So first thing which we have to remember is hurry will never take you anywhere. You are a recipient, so you must learn to wait. You must be humble, and you should always have a feeling of surrender. When mind is loaded with dejections, disappointments, or sorrows, then meditation and spiritual life is not possible. So, what we should do? We should learn to smile away all our sorrows, be unaffected by the play of sattva, rajas, and tamas in us. We should be relaxed, we should be tension free. When you are tired, you can smile. When you are exhausted, you should take rest, but strive back again. Always remember, sing His glory, and when you are totally lost, surrender to Him. Surely help will come. He is always there to help you, but you should have faith. Faith is very, very important. You should have faith in your Lord, in your family members, or as well as in your Guru. Now, in this chapter, they have given very beautiful examples which do occur in our nature daily, which show that how slow and steadiness brings a smile in ourselves and makes our life more easy. We all have seen opening of a flower. We all have seen germination of a small seed into a big plant. Then we have observed growth of trees. Whenever we go anywhere, like whenever we go to any hill stations, we never miss sunset and sunrise of that place. We try and attempt to go to watch a sunrise. All these actions are slow, but they are timely precised. So all these examples, if we inculcate in our life, then we can lead our life slowly and peacefully. So by this we do a conclusion of self unfoldment book. Thank you. Hari Om. Hari Om. Now, Brahmachari Ved Chaitanya will be giving us will be summarizing the book of self unfoldment by giving us certain actionables. Vedji has been nourished by Swami Siddheshanandji's love, care, and affection.
हरि ओम ओम श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः।
Hey, am I audible? Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om Vedji, we can hear you, but we can't see you. Hari Om Vedji. Okay.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Vedji.
Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hopefully it is Hari Om.
Hari Om Vedji, could you please put on your video?
Is it audible?
Yes.
Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. My pronouns to Pujya Swami Siddheshanandji. Very difficult to speak. Person who has taught me so many things. and is the main reason for me being here. It's very difficult to speak at this moment. But as Swamiji always used to say, that we should live in the present, neither in past nor in future. One of the most important
Hari Om. Hari Om, actually, you are not audible to us.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Yes, Hari Om, we can hear now.
Okay. Some internet issue. So as I was saying, one of the most important learnings that I have from studying self-unfoldment under Puja Swami Siddheshanand Ji is he used to always focus on the three leakages that Puja Gurudev used to ever talk about. And Aboli, while introducing, told that I am supposed to summarize the self-unfoldment book and give some actionables. So I think the best actionable that we can have in this particular circumstance is to avoid the three leakages: the memories of the past, worry for the future, and excitement in the present. If we can drop these three leakages, if we can control these three leakages and be in the present moment, then I am sure we will be able to progress in our spiritual path. Puja Gurudev used to always say, alert and vigilant living is the greatest sadhana. And from all the time that we have spent together with Swami Siddheshanand Ji, that is one teaching that we have always got, and that is be alert. At what time what will happen, you never know. Whether it was the training that he gave by teaching us driving, whether it was the training that he gave when we used to handle mic system, etc., in big programs, when Puja Guruji will be there or some big functions will be there, each person will be given particular work duty, and be alert in your duty is what Swamiji used to always say, and he used to demonstrate that focus, that absolute concentration that Swamiji used to have. So if we can take up this one quality of remaining in the present, totally alert, I think that will be the greatest tribute to Puja Swamiji. He has given us his best, probably more than his best. Now it is our responsibility, duty to give our best at his lotus feet. I think that's it. May Dev's grace be on all. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Dhanyavad Swami.
Thank you so much, Vedji. Some of Swamiji's Vedant course batchmates have remembered their dear friend. We will now be playing a video clip by Swami Pratyanandji of Chinmaya Mission Nanded, who has been with Swamiji since his college days.
स्वामी सिद्धेशानंद जी आज त्यांना ब्रह्मज्ञ होऊन 1 वर्ष पूर्ण होते. आजच्या दिवशी त्यांच्या सगळ्या आठवणी पुन्हा येतात. ते जे जे अनुभव माझ्या जीवनामध्ये आलेत त्यांच्यासोबत राहत असताना ते मी आज तुमच्या बरोबर शेअर करणार आहे. मला फक्त एकच म्हणायचं या ठिकाणी की सिद्धेशानंदांच्या रूपाने चिन्मयानंदच माझ्यापर्यंत पोहोचले. कारण चिन्मय मिशन मध्ये मी जे आलो सिद्धेशानंदजीमुळेच आलो. त्यांनीच मला हात धरून या ठिकाणी आणलं आणि सिद्धेशानंदजींसारखे मित्र मिळणं फार नशिबाची गोष्ट आहे. बिन हरी कृपा मिलई नाही संता. भगवंतांनी कृपा केली आणि त्यांना माझ्या सोबत पाठवलं. त्यांच्या बाबतीत म्हणाल, त्यांचे कोणतेही कार्य जेव्हा ते करायचे त्यांचं विजन क्लिअर असायचं, क्रिस्टल क्लिअर. त्यांचे निर्णय ठाम असायचे. आम्ही कॉलेजमध्ये असताना माझा त्यांच्याशी जास्त परिचय नव्हता. सुरुवातीची वेळ होती. एक प्रसंग असा आहे की स्वामी पुरुषोत्तमानंदजींचं शेगावला शिबिर होतं. 3rd इयरला आम्ही असो त्यावेळेस समजा. आणि आमची परीक्षा होती, पेपर चालू होते फर्स्ट सेमचे. तर सिद्धेशानंदजी ते परीक्षा ड्रॉप केली आणि शिबिराला गेली. तर मी रागवलो, अरे बाबा असं कोणतं शिबिर आहे, काय आहे की आपली परीक्षा सोडून तुम्ही शिबिर अटेंड करायला चालले. त्यावेळेस त्यांनी सांगितलंय परीक्षा होत राहते पण शिबिर परत होणार नाही. तर रेग्युलर जे त्यांचं सेमिस्टर होतं त्याचे पेपर सोडून ते शिबिराला गेले. तेव्हा मी माझ्या मनात विचार करत होते, काय वेडे मुलं आहेत की शिबिरासाठी आपली परीक्षा सोडून गेले. मी तर काही शिबिराला गेलो नाही आणि मला चिन्मय मिशनचं पण जास्त काही माहिती नव्हतं. तर मग मी ठरवलं होतं की यांच्या बरोबर नाही राहायचं बाबा. पण नंतर जेव्हा ते शिबिर करून आले, ते ज्या 2 सब्जेक्टमध्ये साहजिकच ड्रॉप घेतला होता त्यांनी, पण ते आनंदी होते. त्याचं काही दुःख असं काही नव्हतं. ते म्हणे आता याला पुढच्या सेमिस्टरमध्ये करून घेऊ क्लिअर आपण. आणि माझे 2 सब्जेक्ट राहिले होते. मी दुःखी होतो. मी इथं राहून पण माझे 2 गेले होते. मग त्यांच्या बरोबर मी राहिलो. त्यांनी सगळे माझे कन्सेप्ट क्लिअर केले. म्हणजे व्यावहारिक ज्ञान पण त्यांचं व्यवस्थित होते. शालेय शिक्षणामध्ये म्हणजे कॉलेजच्या यामध्ये पण सगळे कन्सेप्ट क्लिअर. स्वतःचा वेळ बाजूला सर्व. माझे पण विषय क्लिअर केले, स्वतःचे पण केले आणि सेमिस्टर पूर्ण क्लिअर झालं. त्यामुळे घाबरायचं काय त्याच्यात, हे होणारच होतं. तेव्हा मला दाद द्यावं लागली त्यांच्या विजनवर आणि त्यांच्या निर्णयावर की इतका कॉन्फिडन्स, आत्मविश्वास त्यांच्या स्वतःमध्ये होता आणि ते इतरांना पण ते कॉन्फिडन्स देत होते. नेहमी दुसऱ्यांसाठी धावून येणारे. जर ते भेटले नसते तर जीवनाची नैया कुठं पोहोचली असती माझी या संसाराच्या राहडगाड्यामध्ये. पण ते भेटल्यामुळे माझ्या जीवनाला दिशा मिळाली. पुरुषोत्तमानंदजी मिळाले, तेजोमयानंदजी मिळाले. आणि याच्यात पण जेव्हा जेव्हा या 10-20 वर्षाच्या काळामध्ये संकट आले त्यावेळेस सगळ्यात अगोदर मी त्यांना फोन करायचो की हा प्रॉब्लेम आला, असं झालं, राहायला जागा नाही, आश्रमाचे प्रॉब्लेम, सगळं ते माझी सांत्वना करायचे त्या मोठ्या भावासारखे. ते 9 डिसेंबरला जी मला बातमी आली तेव्हा मला खूप वाईट वाटलं की जीवनामध्ये एवढा मोठा लॉस दुसरा कोणता नाही. आयुष्यभर त्यांच्या सोबत अपेक्षा होती पण मझधार में हमको छोड़ के चले गए सिद्धेशानंद. लेकिन उनका मार्गदर्शन हरदम हमारे साथ रहेगा. नेहमी आमच्या सोबत ते त्यांचे विचार आणि आपल्या सोबतच राहतील. किती बोलू, मला फक्त 3 मिनिटं सांगितले तर 5 मिनिटं आत्ताच होऊन गेले. तर मी जास्त फक्त आता मनापासून मी त्यांच्या गुरुदेवांच्या चरणी ते प्राप्त झाले आणि मुक्त सत्य त्यांचे सगळे कॉन्सेप्ट क्लिअर असल्यामुळे त्यांना पुनर्जन्म मिळणारच नाही. ही इज रिअलाइज सोल. ज्ञानिनः तत्वदर्शिनः असं पूर्ण व्यक्तिमत्व आम्हाला प्राप्त झालं, पण ते आमच्यातून निघून गेल्यामुळे आमचा खूप मोठा लॉस झाला. त्यांची सतत आयुष्यभर आठवण राहील. पुन्हा ईश्वर चरणी, गुरुदेवांच्या चरणी प्रार्थना करून त्यांचे हे स्मरणात माझे 2 शब्द मी या ठिकाणी पूर्ण करतो. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. हरि ओम.
Brahmachari Darshini Didi, who is Swamiji's Vedant course batchmate and a substantial contributor of Chinmaya Mission Pune, has also shared her thoughts on Swamiji. I will read them out for all of us. Swami Siddheshanandaji, a pure and noble soul, my Vedanta batchmate, my well-wisher and my godmother. Very loving with helpful nature, quick to spot a talent, daring to try new ideas, hardworking, brilliant in both secular and spiritual knowledge, expert in a lot of things from cooking to construction. Swamiji, an ardent devotee of Param Pujya Gurudev, joined Chinmaya Yuva Kendra study classes when he was in his 10th grade. From the manual of self-unfoldment started his unfolding. Sorry, there was a technical error. From the manual of self-unfoldment started his unfolding into his own true self. His favorite text from his Yuva Kendra days onwards was Bhaja Govindam, and he used to say that he and his group of friends have analyzed each verse of Bhaja Govindam so well, observing the various situations of life. Thus, he applied his studies in practical life. He was an early riser. He would start his day at 3 a.m. with reading of Pujya Gurudev's commentary on various texts. His entire being was charged by Gurudev's vision. He had such a clarity which led to spontaneous dispensing of that vision in everything he did. He had kept Pujya Gurudev's vision aglow throughout his life. Very, very devoted to Pujya Guruji. A great bond and synergy between his Guru and himself could never be left unnoticed. He would always take guidance from Guruji before starting any project. He would take his blessings and do as guided by Pujya Guruji. Any new bhajan, new talk, new text of Pujya Guruji, he would update himself very eagerly and enthusiastically. He had a soulful connect to the higher power and let it guide him. Thus, he was very intuitive. Sometimes he may look ruthless, but it always ended with he was right no matter what. I used to be very amazed by this. Who wouldn't let the cosmic energy flow through them if they, for years together, woke up at 3 a.m. and poured into Gurudev's thoughts on one supreme reality? Swamiji was of international standards. He would have earned in millions by writing programs and heading top company projects, but chose to reach out to the society to let them come together and contribute towards the protection and nourishing of our Sanatan Dharma. He would have trotted the globe with lecture series on new technologies in his high tech world and on his own new discoveries, but chose to study the Vedas and see the supreme power behind this world and stay put in Pune and build the center brick by brick. Speaking about his dedicated team of people who are young at heart, always willing to support him, and very dignified, well educated, experienced, highly noteworthy group of people who looked up to him, trusted him, and gave him all their love and respect. He built the Yuva Kendra with so much care and love. He was and is close to all of them. I bet more than their parents. He had given them his all. He taught them very seriously and they learned the texts and his organizational skills very well. He had led his Yuva Kendra kids to all great sants and sadhus of Chinmay mission, beginning from Puja Guruji, and made them connect to the Mahatmas who loved to guide towards the betterment of Chinmay Maudi. He always helped nearby Chinmay mission centers. From the mini forest project to the jewel like Vitthal Rukmini temple, he never lost sight of Puja Gurudev's vision and Puja Guruji's guidance in realizing that vision. He never ever acted upon his personal likes and dislikes. If anyone's idea was in sync with Gurudev's vision, he would slog to work on it, no matter what. He became tougher when the work got tough. His untiring work and outreach to people is commendable. It never bothered him whether the work was great or only clerical. His love for Sanskrit and Das both and his mother tongue Marathi was openly seen in most of his conversations in classes. Sri Ram Jap was a constant in his mind on a full packed overtiring day for him, as he used to sing the same through the bhajan Chanchal Mananita Rama Japakar. Something used to stir his soul when he heard Bhagwan Vitthala's Abhangas or when he saw Vitthala's Murti. He had such eagerness to be in solitude at Arandi at the banks of Indrayani. He said his life is fulfilled after the trip of Pandharpur with Puja Guruji and after the holy dip at river Chandrabhaga along with Puja Guruji. He had a very deep knowledge and wisdom. He used to tell me the deeper imports of seemingly simple statements of the Granthas. My best friend, my Sandipani Guru Bhai, he is God to me, a pure soul, always blessing me and backing me. A true devotee of the Lord, a custodian of the Hindu culture, and a forever Chinmaya child who worked towards an ideal vision ashram until his very last breath. Jai Jai Vithala. As all of us can see, the program is getting extended by some time. So we anticipate another 20 to 25 minutes of this program. If anybody has any urgent or pressing matters, please note that the program is already being streamed live on YouTube. And if you are missing some parts, you can catch them on YouTube. Others, we request you to stay tuned with us for the rest of the function. Swamiji used to always say that centers, resourceful centers like Pune and Mumbai, should help other centers who are remote. Uh, One of his endeavors was to help many centers in at least Maharashtra. He used to go to those centers and take camps and yajnas and classes. And we at Chinmay Mauli Ashram seek endeavor to carry forward this vision. Now, Farshid Bhaiya will be telling us about what we are doing more in this direction.
Hari Om. This program called as Chinmaya Archana program, which was introduced by Swami G, he had clarified upfront that this is not a help that we are giving to a particular center, whereas he used to always consider it that we are very thankful that the centers around are giving us an opportunity to serve Pujya Gurudev's vision. So basically, this activity called as a Chinmaya Archana program is such where Pune being a center of resources, it is our bounden duty that we should help our nearby and our rural centers. So as part of this program, what we have been doing in the past with Swamiji, which we also endeavor to take ahead, is we want to ensure that the grassroots activities in those particular centers are strengthened, as well as there are certain things like database management, fundraising, organizing talks and workshops in that particular center, as well as starting study classes. So this is what Swamiji used to ensure. We have over the past number of years offered this seva to centers like Panji, Nashik, Aurangabad, Khopoli, Amravati, Nagpur. And for this particular duration, currently we thought that we'll help Sangli Center. So currently the implementation which we have done up till now is that We have Brahmachari Pundarik Chaitanya Ji of Sangli. He had visited Chinmaya Mauli Ashram, where we had a brief discussion with him. There is a Bhagavad Gita chanting class, which is currently already being held. Then there is a Nyan Yajna in Sangli planned in the last week of January. We also, a few of our devotees from Pune also visited the Sangli center, met all the committee members there, and we've taken some contacts of about 300, 400 people so that, we can create an online database. We also gave them an initial offering of 11,000 as well as a laptop and a camera for taking online classes and taking this vision ahead. Also, the secretary of Sangli, Shri Jayavant Shinde, was added in the central CCMT All India Secretaries WhatsApp group, so that that particular center gets all the updates of the central activities being conducted by CCMT, as well as the reporting as such of Sangli center can reach the CCMT. Finally, what our aim is in the next 1 year is that by December 2021, at least there should be 2 grassroots activities of each category. That is 2 study classes, 2 Balvihars, and 2 Chik or Setukari classes, which should be fully functional. And the other aim which we are planning to have is by December 2021, that is in the next 1 year, after Sangli Center empowers itself, it should decide which is the next center which Sangli Center as well as Pune Center would want to empower. So I request all the others also who are present, who in any way feel that this is something which they would like to contribute to, I request all of them to please get in touch with us and let us reach this vision of Pujya Swami Ji to the maximum. Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you, Farshid Bhaiya. Now, Lata Sinha Amma will be telling us more about the Chinmaya Tapovan, that is a mini forest that we have at Chinmaya Mauli.
Hari Om. Am I audible? Okay, so Tapovanam. For those who have not visited Chinmaya Mauli Ashram, Tapovanam is a small forest in the backyard of the ashram. This was very carefully and intelligently planned by Pujya Swami Siddheshanand, where he planted over 2,000 trees without using valuable space of the ashram. And now, as the trees have started growing, it has created a nice, cozy environment, a nice enclosure for various activities. Tapovanam, the name itself brings a feeling of peace, a feeling of shelter, of security and awareness. Swami Siddheshanand chose to give this project the name Tapovanam because, as he said, Vana is a forest. And he used to say that let this be a Vana of tapas. And that name also is of our Parama Guru, Swami Tapovan Maharaj Ji. Interestingly, the whole idea of Tapovanam got triggered by a wrongly sent WhatsApp to Pujya Swamiji by Sumitra Amma. And in that WhatsApp was a video which showed the Miyawaki forest concept. But this was just a trigger for what he wanted to do. He always wanted the ashram to have a dense canopy of trees. Pujya Gurudev used to say that an ashram where Vedantic studies are held should have lots of trees. On receiving the WhatsApp, Swamiji was curious and he started researching. He found that this concept of a forest in your backyard was being tried out by someone at Kamshet. And there, the very same day, Swamiji took out the car and was off to Kamshet to see it firsthand. He came back and took a few of us back there to see the project and threw up new ideas. On further inquiry, he learned that there was one Shubhendu Sharmaji, who was the person in India who was doing this. He left no stone unturned to trace him. He managed to trace his contact and touched base with him. He also found out that the people at Kamshet had spent lakhs of rupees to implement this. He spoke to Shubhendu Ji and told him about the Chinmaya mission, and requested him and convinced him to give his knowledge as a seva to the mission. Then, under his guidance, he started the whole project, which has 2,200 trees. Yes, 2,200 trees at Tapovanam and plus more at Amauli Center. We have more than 200 varieties of trees, which include a wide variety of tall trees, shrubs, and herbs. There are medicinal trees, flowering, and fruit trees. We also have rare trees like Rudraksh and Ashwagandha. There is a great science behind this method of planting, and a web has to be created by a careful selection of trees, shrubs, and ground cover. To source these plants, Swamiji himself has visited almost every nursery in Pune and neighboring places. He especially got a number of plants from a nursery in Satara. He would load the Mahindra, Omni, and Nano and bring back to the ashram loads of saplings in his multiple trips. With the help of ashram workers and helpers, Swamiji would unload the car and label the plants. Now, how was the planting done? Swamiji sent the message across that we are doing this project, and he inspired and invited one and all to come and plant the saplings. Members of all study classes came and planted. Students from various schools were invited. Senior members, chicks, Bal Vihar children, all have come and planted them. There was a joy, a great joy in working together. Those days, whoever came to the ashram, and what was the prasad they got? They got to plant trees. And Swamiji himself would stand there enthusiastically and help to plant and water the trees. How did he manage all this? Swamiji got tokens made with numbers on them. And each plant was numbered in such a way that it should not harm the tree. He then maintained a database of all these trees. Next to that token name is the botanical name of the tree, along with the local Marathi name, the name of the person who planted it, and the date of planting. Meticulous as Swamiji was, he has made a database of more than 1,500 trees. A number of people came and planted and left. But Swamiji took care of watering and nurturing these saplings, and the result is there for all to benefit from. Not only Tapovanam, but every part of Mauli has Swamiji's touch. There's a part of the sun in the apple. There's a part of the moon in the rose. There's a part of Swamiji in every leaf that grows at Mauli. Hari Om. Now let's view a presentation on Tapovanam.
Thank you, Lata Amma. Now we have a small surprise at Chinmay Mauli Ashram whenever you all will be visiting, hopefully soon. But until then, Dinesh Dada will be telling us about this new tree that we have formed at Chinmay Mauli Ashram.
Hari Om. So, in memory of our Puja Swami Ji, actually, we wanted to just depict our some presentation in form of tree, so that we can remember our roots and then Guru Parampara, and then what are the things I think Puja Swami Ji has developed here in the ashram, or what are the things that he was involved. So we have shown some of his work through this a tree actually, which we have painted here in the ashram. So as Aboli was mentioning, once you come here in the and visit the ashram, you will be seeing one tree actually, which is drawn on the first entrance of our ashram. So in memory of our Puja Gurudev and Swami Ji, we have just developed this tree. So here is our Guru Parampara roots. This is our main stem for our tree, and where are the different branches coming? So where we have all the work done by our Swami Ji, where he has planted all different trees. He was looking at all the constructions. Then his nice talks given in the ashram. So much involvement by him in the talks. Then he was continuously busy in some of the works, some documentations and everything. And he is always careful and loving to the kids and children. And I think he is with Guruji when this ashram was inaugurated. So this is what actually we have shown in this entire tree, which depicts all his work. Hari Om.
Thank you, Dinesh Dada. Now, A.V. Ramanathan uncle will tell us about today's digital prasad.
Hari Om. We have been seeing a lot of pet projects of Swamiji for last hour and a half, so or maybe 2 hours. One of such pet project of Swamiji is photo mosaic, wherein he said in many ashrams, temples, the people who have contributed both financially or even by effort are listed. Instead of giving a listing in our Chinmaya Maulya ashram, we'll have to find some better method. And we decided to run this photo mosaic. All of you are familiar with it. Now, on this occasion of the first anniversary of Swami Siddheshanji, we decided to redo this photo mosaic in a different way. In the sense, we wanted to include more of Swamiji's photos. This photo mosaic in future will represent more of Swamiji and of course all others also. So we are reading the photo mosaic and I'm showing the sample of it. See, for example, here you see Swamiji's photos, 200 additional photos are added in place of other photos we are having in the present photo mosaic. Our idea is we will replace the existing photo mosaic with the new photo mosaic, wherein Swamiji's photo will occupy almost 30 or 40% of the individual photos. And also, all those people who have contributed to the development of the ashram and maintaining and sustaining the activities of ashram will always be shown. See here, for example, you have Swamiji sitting in front of the Vinayaka in our hall. This photograph was added this year. Just now. In addition, we also want to add photograph of other devotees who have been associated with Chinmaya Ashram, Ashram Pune. Now, another change we are making is we are adding photographs of devotees along with Swamiji. For example, there is one photograph where Farshid is there along with Swamiji. And there is one photograph, Lata Sinha is there along with Swamiji. And there is one where I am with Swamiji. And here we experimented. Earlier, photo mosaic had only a single photo of each photograph, single person's photo. Now we are trying to include more than one person's photo. There are many instances where we could try such photo, like Khandelwalji is there with Swamiji. And what I appeal to all of you is, we want to add another 10% of the total photograph, a photograph of our devotees with Swamiji. But whoever has got such photo, but they must be very close. Take, for example, this photograph of this Swamiji, along with 3 persons are there available. Still with Swamiji, along with other 2 persons. Similarly, Farshid, here Khandelwalji and Swamiji is here. You can see Khandelwalji and Swamiji. Now, Advaitananji and Swamiji is there. So it is possible in photo mosaics more than here, Kirtanandama, Purushottamanji and Swamiji is there. So it is possible for us to add more than 1 person in a single photograph. So I appeal to everyone, if you have any photo with Swamiji, but you must be very close to Swamiji. If you can send to us, we'll redo the entire photo mosaic and put it up in our library. Hari. So that all of us remember Swamiji and also remember our association with Swamiji.
Hari Om. We will now be concluding today's program with the Chinmaya Mission Pledge, followed by Arati.
I will lead and all can follow. We stand as one family.
We stand as one family,
Bound to each other with love and respect.
bound to each other with love and respect.
We serve as an army.
We serve as an army,
Courageous and disciplined.
courageous and disciplined,
Ever ready to fight against.
ever ready to fight against
All low tendencies and false values within and without us.
all low tendencies and false values within and without us.
We live honestly the noble life of sacrifice and service.
We live honestly the noble life of sacrifice and service,
Producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take.
producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take.
We seek the Lord's grace
We seek the Lord's grace
to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom.
to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom.
May thy grace and blessing flow through us to the world around us.
May thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us.
We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords.
We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords.
And devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self.
And devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self.
We know our responsibilities.
We know our responsibilities.
Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them.
Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them.
Om Tat Sat.
Om Tat Sat.
Om Tatra Suryo Bhagavatam Nema Vishyo Nashito Yami Sameva Bhagavan Sarvam Satya Bhaka Sarvam Samvibhati. Yo Vedada Usvara Prokto Vedante Pratishthitah Tasya Prakriti Tasya Parasamaheshwarah. Om Shri Satgurnath Maharaj Ki Jai. Arati Ki ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम् श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम् अथ शान्ति मन्त्रः ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम बोला कुंडली कवरदा ज्ञानदेव तुकाराम